Chapter 21. Primeape returns. Kanasu badge acquired. Beep. Ash, it's you. Which Pokemon do you want me to transfer? I still need a few days to study Silcoon, Professor Oak said, knowing Ash was scheduled for a gym match tomorrow. Dr. Oak, please transfer Primeape, Pidgeot, and Bayleaf over. I'll trade Tyranitar, Tylo, and Phanpy, Ash replied. The little Hoenn Pokemon were already settled, so Ash planned a big reshuffle, except for Pikachu, Eevee, and Trico, who would take part in the gym match. The main thing Ash had asked Professor Oak for was to get Primeape back from Shando. Primeape had been Ash's originally, only lent out for a while. Oh, Tyranitar, you say? No problem. Professor Oak's eyes lit up. By the way, the Pokemon in your backyard have made great progress. Totodile has evolved into Croconaw. Noctowl, with Pidgeot's help, has already advanced to gym-level capability. Is that so? That's great. Ash didn't plan to use Primeape in the gym match. He wanted time to rebuild their bond. Primeape had only been with him a short time before being lent away. Ash found an open patch of ground and called, Primeape! Pidgeot! Bayleaf! Come out! Hacha! Pie! Bayleaf! Bayleaf barreled into Ash. Haha! Long time no see, Bayleaf. Ash greeted it, then turned to Primeape. Good to see you again, Primeape. Welcome back. Hacha! Primeape nodded happily. Primeape, type fighting, ability, defiant. When an opponent lowers its stats, its attack is sharply raised. Strength, mid-gym level. Moves, bulk up, close combat, taunt, double team, seismic toss, mega kick, mega punch. Dynamax type, Ghost Bayleaf. Strength, elite peak the next day. Xiaozhi's group arrived at Kanasu. As a rock gym, it looked a lot like Nibby Gym, everything built from stone. Ash felt a familiar excitement. This was his first gym match since transmigrating. The group walked into the gym and reached the battleground, where staff were finishing up the cleaning. This is so cool, Xiao Yao said, staring at the field. Is this where the matches are held? Xiao Sheng asked, excited. It really looks like a field set up for rock-type battles, noted Xiao Gang, who was also a rock gym trainer. Good morning. You must be Ash from Pallet Town. Gym leader Dujuan has already told us you're coming. Please follow me, a staff member said. Okay. Teacher, the challenger has arrived, the staff member called. Ash, we're honored Kanasu Gym can be the starting point for your Hoenn League challenge, Dujuan said as she walked out with a smile. The honor's mine, Miss Dujuan, Ash replied. Shall we start? Dujuan asked. No problem, I've been ready. Everything is ready here too, the staff member reported. Are they teachers at the gym? Xiao Gang asked. They're students from the Trainer Training Academy, Dujuan explained. They work here as my assistants to gain practical experience. Do you mind if we record the match? Dujuan asked Ash. I'd like to use it in training. Actual gym matches are the best lessons for aspiring trainers. I don't mind. Ash and Dujuan took their places while Xiao Gang and the others went to the spectator seats. I wonder how Ash will battle. This is my first time seeing a gym match, Xiao Sheng said, wide-eyed. Didn't you watch your dad's matches at the Orange Gym? Xiao Gang asked. He said we shouldn't. He thought it'd distract the challenger, Xiao Sheng replied. Starting now, the gym match between gym leader Dujuan and challenger Ash from Pallet Town will begin, the referee announced. Rules: a 2-Pokemon knockout battle. Only the challenger may switch Pokemon. All right, I'll start. Geodude, go, Dujuan called. Geodude, ability sturdy. If a hit would otherwise cause it to faint, it instead remains at 1 HP. Strength, elite late level. You're up, Trico, Ash said. Chama, battle start. Geodude mega punch, Dujuan ordered. Geodude charged and swung a heavy punch at Trico. Trico, dodge with quick attack, then use leaves, Ash countered. Trico nimbly avoided the blow and fired a barrage of leaves at Geodude. Geodude, harden, then rock throw, Dujuan called. Her plan was clear. Take the hit and follow up with a counter. Trico was hit by rock throw. Geodude, now roll out. Geodude curled up and rolled toward Trico. Trico, jump up and use absorb. Trico leapt and drained energy from the rolling rock type. Final hit, quick attack and pound. Chama! Geodude collapsed, unable to battle. Geodude is unable to battle. Trico wins. Return, Geodude. You did well, Dujuan said, recalling her Pokemon. Nice job, Trico, Ash praised. Chama. All right, keep it up, Trico. Come out, Nosepass. Dujuan sent out Nosepass. Nosepass, ability, sturdy. When hit by a move that would otherwise cause it to faint, it is left with 1 HP. Strength, mid-gym level. Battle start. Nosepass, use Rock Tome, Dujuan ordered. Nosepass slammed the ground. Rocks erupted and began to cage Trico in a rocky maze. Trico used Quick Attack to evade the falling stones. Good, Trico, counter with leaves. Trico summoned sharp leaves to attack Nosepass. Nosepass, Stone Edge. Nosepass took the hit and unleashed a concentrated spike of rocks. The level gap was too wide. Trico couldn't keep up. Trico is unable to battle. Nosepass wins. Return, Trico. You were amazing. Now I'm counting on you, Pidgeot. Ash recalled Trico and sent out Pidgeot. Pidgeot, let's go! Pie! Nosepass, Zap Cannon! Dujuan's Nosepass concentrated electricity in its bright red nose and fired a pale yellow beam. Pidgeot double team, quick attack, then steel wing. Ash called. Pidgeot created a flurry of copies and struck Nosepass at blinding speed, triggering its sturdy ability and leaving it with a sliver of HP. Nosepass, rest! Dujuan shouted. Nosepass settled and fell asleep to recover. Shall I give you a chance to recover? Dujuan said with a smile. Pidgeot, full power hyper beam. Pidgeot gathered a massive white beam and unleashed it, right at the sleeping Nosepass. The blast hit with a thunderous boom. Nosepass! Dujuan watched as her Pokémon collapsed. Nosepass is unable to battle. Pidgeot wins. The winner is Ash from Pallet Town. Great job, Pidgeot. Ash cheered. Pai! Yay, Ash won! Xiaozhi jumped and shouted. Nosepass, return. You did your best. Rest up, Dujuan said, recalling her Pokémon. Outside the gym, Dujuan approached Ash. Ash, you're truly impressive. This is the Kanasu badge. Congratulations. I believe you'll do very well at the Hoenn League. Thank you, Ash said, taking the badge. He held it up and shouted, All right, I got the Kanasu badge. Pikachu chirped, Pika. Ding, achievement unlocked, Kanasu Rock badge. Reward, 1,000 points. Later, Xiaozhi and Xiaoyao eagerly examined the badge on Ash's ribbon. The group then headed to the Pokémon Center, chatting about their next plans. To be continued. Chapter 22, Team Aqua appears, President Stone's thank you gift. Okay, Professor Oak, I've received Quilava and Tylo. I've received Pidgeot and Trico too. Ash, you have to work hard. Yes, Ash's updated team. Pikachu, Eevee, Premiape, Bayleaf, Quilava, Tailo. After finishing his call with Professor Oak, Ash met up with Xiaogang and the others. Ash, we checked. The nearest gym is the Wudo Dojo on Wudo Island, Xiaozhi reported. Perfect. Let's challenge the Wudo Dojo. Xiaogang, you in? Ash asked. Pikachu. Ash's affirmation was met by a nod. Xiaogang and Xiaoyao were flipping through a Rustboro City tourist brochure, one thinking about shopping, the other dreaming of all the food. Xiaogang, Ash called, getting their attention. Xiaogang looked up and explained, there are 3 ferries to Wudo Island, morning, noon, and evening. The noon ferry already left. If we take the evening one, we can move around freely until then. I agree, Xiaoyao said enthusiastically. That sounds good. All right, Ash nodded. Xiaozhi, drinking a beverage, suddenly knocked it over and spilled it onto his Pokémon Navigator. Ah, he cried, then frantically wiped it with a handkerchief. The device wouldn't respond. Oh no. Xiaozhi's heart sank. The others noticed and turned to him. What's wrong, Xiaozhi? Xiaoyao asked. Xiaozhi shoved the dead Pokénav behind his back. No, nothing. We still have the whole afternoon, right? I'll be fine. Bye. With that, he bolted away, terrified of being teased. They all split up to enjoy the day. Ash trained his Pokémon, deciding to take Premiape and Tylo to the Wudo Dojo and preparing a few surprises for the match. The others continued their own training. Xiaozhi wandered past a demonstration and ran straight into a man showing off a strange invention to some kids. The president of Devon Corporation, Mr. Stone. Mr. Stone took a liking to Xiaozhi. Not only did he help repair Xiaozhi's Pokémon Navigator, he showed him around Devon and asked his black-suited secretary to invite Ash and the others over. After showing Xiaozhi the fossil resurrection machine, Mr. Stone spotted someone suspicious leaving the building. Back at the Pokémon Center, Ash, Xiaogang, and Xiaoyao regrouped. Xiaogang had finished shopping. Xiaoyao was so full she flopped into a chair. They were soon told Xiaozhi had gone to Devon Corporation and were invited to join him. They rode to Devon in a luxurious stretch limousine. So you're Pokémon trainers as well. The young master of our Devon Corporation is a powerful trainer, the secretary said, introducing them. Of course, Ash answered. Steven is very strong. Steven? Xiaoyao sounded puzzled. Are you from Hoenn? Steven was the former Hoenn champion. Ash explained patiently. Meanwhile, Mr. Stone and Xiao Sheng had given chase after the suspicious man, but because of Xiao Sheng's earlier mistake, the man managed to slip away. "It's my fault," Xiao Sheng fretted. "No, you helped," Mr. Stone reassured him. "Running off like that shows he's hiding something. We'll catch him." Mr. Stone's calm confidence eased Xiao Sheng somewhat. Then the secretary's phone buzzed. "Hello, this is Kuroda. President, there are 2 sealed bottles of culture solution missing from the lab. Yes, I'll be right there." He hung up and told Ash's group, "The president is chasing the suspect with Xiao Sheng." "What if something happened to Xiao Sheng?" Xiao Yao fretted. "Don't worry, the president called to say they're okay. Come on, let's go," Ash said, leading the way. "I know a shortcut that will let us get ahead and corner him." They took the shortcut and blocked the suspect on a balcony just as Mr. Stone and Xiao Sheng caught up. "You're surrounded. Surrender and tell us who you are," Ash ordered. "Xiao Sheng, are you all right?" Xiao Yao asked, worried. "I'm fine," Xiao Sheng said, blushing as he introduced them. "This is my princess, and that's Ash." "Pleased to meet you," Mr. Stone said, then turned to the man. "Return the stolen sealed bottles." The suspicious man smirked. "It's not that simple. Out, Crawdaunt," he snarled. A huge Crawdaunt appeared, claws glinting. "Team Aqua," Ash recognized immediately. They're one of Hoenn's dark organizations. "Pikachu, go!" Ash shouted. "Pikachu, volt tackle!" Pikachu charged, wrapped in electricity, and slammed into Crawdaunt. The water type struck back. "Crawdaunt, use Crab Hammer!" Crawdaunt's massive claw shot out a white, cracking crab hammer. "Double team!" Pikachu created multiple afterimages and dodged the attack. Before Ash could finish his command, the Team Rocket trio bounded in, ruining the moment. "Team Rocket!" Xiao Yao groaned, having been watching them for a while. They were intent on making trouble. Just then, Officer Jenny appeared, hot on Team Rocket's heels. "What is going on here?" she demanded, as she closed in. "Humph! Crawdaunt, Bubble Beam!" the Aqua grunted. "Pikachu, Electro Ball!" Ash called. Crawdaunt fired a jet of bubbles at Pikachu. Pikachu gathered electricity on his tail and flung an Electro Ball. The collision blossomed into an explosion that sent Crawdaunt reeling. "Thunderbolt, follow up!" Ash ordered. "Pika, chew!" Pikachu unleashed a powerful thunderbolt that knocked Crawdaunt out of the fight. The Team Aqua thug tried to sprint for a crate, but Ash's aura sense had been keeping track of him. "Don't move! Thunder Shock, Pikachu! Pikachu!" A bolt of lightning struck the fleeing man, toppling him. Officer Jenny stepped forward and cuffed him. "You're under arrest." They opened the crate and found the missing culture solution safely inside, along with a small rocket booster. "Thank you so much, Ash," Mr. Stone said gratefully. "If you hadn't chased him, he would have escaped, and those samples would have been lost." "It was nothing," Ash replied modestly. At that moment, Ash sensed movement again. "Pikachu, Thunderbolt," he called. "Pika, chew!" Pikachu flashed, and Team Rocket was blasted away in their usual dramatic fashion. Wobbuffet popped out and gave its signature cry before they were sent blasting off. A ding sounded in Ash's head. Achievement unlocked. First time defeating Team Aqua. Reward, Primary Rare Candy X5. Rare Candy? Ash glanced at the pop-up explaining the rules. Primary Rare Candy can raise a Pokemon up to the Elite stage, excluding Elite level cap, Intermediate Rare Candy up to Champion, excluding Champion cap, and High-Grade Rare Candy up to Legendary, excluding Legendary cap. Each grade of Rare Candy can only be claimed once per Pokemon. Ash sighed. The restrictions were strict, but sensible. Without limits, ordinary Pokemon could trivialize everything. That evening, Mr. Stone treated them to a lavish dinner to thank them properly. After the meal, he reached under the table and produced a Pokemon egg. "Ash, this is a token of my gratitude. Thank you for your help." "Ah, you don't have to," Ash said, embarrassed but excited as he took the egg. "Haha, it's fine. Steven gave this to me not long ago. He found it in the wild. I'm just paying the favor forward," Mr. Stone said with a smile. "By the way, my son Steven is on Wudo Island. If you're heading there, you can meet him." While Xiao Yao curiously looked up information on Wudo Island, Mr. Stone quietly returned the repaired Pokemon Navigator to Xiao Sheng, rescuing him from disaster. With thanks and waves all around, they said their goodbyes and left Devon Corporation. To be continued. Everyone can guess what kind of Pokemon egg it is. Chapter 23. Arriving at Wudo Island, Pikachu's Surf Ash decided not to use the system to check what was inside the Pokemon egg. He figured the mystery was part of the fun. When everyone set out, they missed the ferry. Xiaoyao had wanted to stop for noodles, and the magazine's schedule had been wrong. Xiaoyao bravely accepted responsibility and, after some searching, found an old man with a small boat. His name was Hachi, and his Wingull, Peepee, acted as their lookout. The whole group boarded Hachi's boat and continued toward Wudo Island. On the way, they were attacked by a school of Sharpedo and ended up making landfall on an unnamed island. There they ran into Team Rocket. The encounter was chaotic, but it eventually led to an uneasy truce between Ash's group and the Sharpedo. After 2 days at sea, they finally arrived at Dewford Town on Wudo Island. After saying goodbye, Old Man Hachi told them he would set sail again for Slateport City. Ash and his friends checked into the Pokemon Center on the island and rested for the night. The next morning, they set out for the Wudo Dojo. Ash hugged the Pokemon egg and ran ahead with Pikachu. "Pikachu, let's take the gym in one go." Pika Pie, Xiao Gang, and the others hurried after them. The dojo had a striking look, an ornate golden arch with carved characters that read "Fighting Big Waves." From the outside, it looked less like the muscle-bound stereotype of a fighting gym and more stylish. A young man with sky-blue hair and a surfboard stepped out to greet them. "Can I help you?" he asked. "I'm Ash from Pallet Town. I've come to challenge your gym," Ash said, stepping forward and holding up the egg. The young man smiled. "I'm Fujiki, the Wudo Dojo leader. I'm sorry, but I'm not holding matches today. The sea was rough until yesterday, but today it's calm, so I'm not taking challengers. Please come back tomorrow." Disappointed but undeterred, Ash suggested, "How about we spend the day on the beach and come back tomorrow?" "Sounds good," everyone agreed. On the beach, surfers dotted the waves. Xiao Yao hurried toward the water and began to change. Xiao Sheng blurted, "Wait, you can't change out here." "It's fine, I've already got my swimsuit on underneath," Xiao Yao replied, casually finishing the change. Xiao Gang, predictably, grew flustered and tried to flirt, but the others subtly edged away from him. "Look, the gym leader," Xiao Yao called. They watched as Fujiki surfed an enormous swell, riding beside a massive Hariyama, its thick, fat ability reducing ice and fire-type damage, strength comparable to a late-stage gym Pokemon. The sight of a Hariyama surfing was surprising to everyone. "That's probably part of his training," Ash said. "It builds synchronization with his Pokemon." They decided to split up and enjoy the day. Ash, Xiao Gang, and Xiao Sheng changed into swimsuits back at the Pokemon Center. Ash left the egg in Nurse Joy's care before heading back to the beach. "All right, everyone out. Let's have fun," Ash called. All of his Pokemon came running, but Bayleaf stayed close by Ash's side and didn't want to leave. "You stay here, Bayleaf," Ash said, taking a moment to hand Bayleaf a junior Pokemon candy as a reward and some encouragement. After a little coaxing, Bayleaf accepted the candy. Its aura flared, and it pushed through a barrier. Bayleaf rose to gym-level early stage. It had been stuck for a while. The breakthrough left Ash quietly relieved. Ash rented a surfboard and a small board for Pikachu. Together, they paddled out and rode a few waves. On the water, they crossed paths with Fujiki and arranged to return for the gym match the next day. Back on shore, Ash inspected Pikachu. Pikachu's expression showed it had really taken to surfing. Ash thought for a moment, then exchanged the system for Surf TM for Pikachu. Ding, usage successful. After lunch, Ash and the others practiced at a training ground. He called out, "Primeape, come out!" and sent Primeape in to spar. Xiao Yao watched curiously. "What is Ash doing?" "I don't know. Maybe training," Xiao Gang replied. Then Ash shouted, "Pikachu, use surf." Everyone stared. "Pikachu can learn surf?" Xiao Sheng exclaimed. "A few exceptionally talented Pikachu can," Xiao Gang said, impressed. "Great against ground types, too." Pikachu summoned a wall of water and sent Primeape tumbling. The display was spectacular. "Amazing, Pikachu, and thank you for the work, Primeape," Ash praised. They spent the afternoon playing and training. To Ash's surprise, Eevee pushed through a bottleneck and reached Elite Mid-Stage, another sudden and welcome breakthrough. While some Pokemon take a long time to advance, Eevee seemed to be catching up quickly. The next day, they returned to the Wudo Dojo. Fujiki greeted Ash with a friendly but determined look. "Ash, I accept your challenge. I'll give it my all." To be continued. Chapter 24, Rage Fist Annihilate. Starting now, the gym match between gym leader Fujiki and challenger Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town. Each trainer will use 2 Pokémon. The referee's voice rang out and the match officially began. Go Machoke. Fujiki sent out his Pokémon first. Ability No Guard, all moves will hit superior peak. Ash's mouth twitched. If he remembered right, it should have been Machop in the original story. Fujiki must really value this Machoke. Go, Tylo, Ash called. Tylo, use Wing Attack, Ash ordered. Machoke, take it, and use Thunder Punch next. Fujiki watched with a smile as Machoke braced. Surprisingly, Machoke had used a surf-like stance to channel and deflect some of the Wing Attack's force. What's happening? Why is Wing Attack so weak? Xiaozhi asked, puzzled. It's being deflected by that surf-style move, Ash realized. No guard plus force redirection. This is going to be a problem. Tylo's advantage is gone. It can't win a war of attrition. Fujiki smiled and looked to Ash. So Ash, how will you break through? Ash grinned. The simplest way, shatter every defense with 1 strike and decide it in a single blow. Quick attack followed by Brave Bird. Machoke, use Thunder Punch, Fujiki barked. The 2 attacks collided. With a thunderous crash, Machoke went down hard. Tylo, too, suffered heavy damage and collapsed. Tylo, you were amazing. Come back! Ash recalled his bird, panting. Machoke, you fought well. Fujiki called his Pokémon back. Both Tylo and Machoke are unable to battle, the referee announced. Ash, your Tylo's spirit was incredible. You're very strong, Fujiki praised, then sent out his next Pokémon. Go, Hariyama. And out came the same Hariyama that had surfed with Fujiki the day before. Then I'll send Primeape, Ash replied. Primeape, this is your first gym match. Let's start off with a win, Ash encouraged. Fighting versus fighting? I like it, Fujiki said. Hariyama, Bullet Punch. Primeape, counter with 1,000 fists, Ash countered. The 2 fighters exchanged blow after blow, fist against flesh, a spectacular sight for Xiaogang and the others watching in the stands. Haha, I haven't seen a match this exciting in a long time. Ash, it looks like you trained Primeape specially, Fujiki laughed. Hariyama, Zen Headbutt. Primeape, give it everything. Use your 20th Rage Fist, Ash shouted. Primeape gathered its rage and let it loose in a single devastating punch. Blue and white energy flared around it. Its form began to shift, evolving. Fujiki's smile froze. That can't be. Primeape can still evolve? Xiaozhi muttered, stunned. The evolution glow shattered. Primeape's fur bristled, its skin darkened, and its eyes flashed crimson with feral intensity. Type, Ability, Defiant, Gimlet Age. Moves, Shadow Punch, Rage Fist, Crystallize Outbreak, Dynamax type Ghost. Of course, the secret weapon Ash had prepared for Primeape was Rage Fist. Primeape originally couldn't learn it, but the system had used a Primeape-specific TM to teach it Rage Fist, breaking the usual limit. Congratulations, Annihilate, someone cheered. Annihilate gave a fierce thumbs up. Xiao Yao hurriedly scanned it with her Pokédex. There was no data. Annihilate, Ash, what exactly is this? Fujiki asked, echoing everyone's thoughts. Annihilate is a fighting and ghost-type Pokémon, the evolved form of Primeape. It evolves only after Primeape uses Rage Fist 20 times. It looks like only Primeape from the Paldea region can learn Rage Fist, so I don't really know why my Primeape knows it, Ash explained. Fujiki smoothed things over smoothly. Maybe one of your Primeape's ancestors was from Paldea, and the genes woke up. What incredible luck. Ash almost wanted to hug the gym leader for covering for him. All right, let's keep the match going, Ash said, smiling. Fujiki, Hariyama, use full power Zen Headbutt, Fujiki ordered. Knowing Annihilate had become part ghost, fighting moves would be risky. Psychic-leaning attacks could be advantageous. Annihilate, full power Shadow Punch, Ash replied. The blow landed. Hariyama crashed to the ground, unable to stand. Hariyama is unable to battle. Annihilate wins. The winner is Ash Ketchum of Pallet Town, the referee declared. Awesome, Annihilate, Ash cheered. Thank you for letting me see Primeape evolve, Fujiki said as he stepped forward and presented the boxing badge. You've earned this. Ash accepted the boxing badge and held it up proudly. Pikachu chirped. Annihilate grunted in approval. Obtained the boxing badge. Reward 1,000 points. Pokémon Center. Ash, can we see Annihilate? Xiaosheng and Xiao Yao asked, eager. All right, but Annihilate gets angry even more easily than Primeape. Be careful, Ash warned. They nodded obediently. Ash released his team so everyone could meet Annihilate. The group and their Pokémon crowded around, curious. After a moment of being stared at, Annihilate snapped and returned to its Pokeball. "Ah, too bad. I wanted to see more," Xiaoyao said, disappointed. "There'll be plenty of chances," Ash said, comforting her. "I'll swing by the Pokémon Center to switch a few things out, and I'll have Professor Oak check Annihilape's condition while I'm there." At Professor Oak's Yamako Research Institute, Oak was already excited. "A Pokémon from Paldea. Annihilape? I haven't studied one yet. Perfect timing. Beautifully just finished evolving, and I need a new subject." "Come out, Annihilape," Ash said, though Annihilape scowled and looked ready to punch Oak. Suddenly, Oak's instruments locked onto a strong aura radiating from the Pokémon. Hey, old friend, keep an eye on him. Annihilape, here I come," Oak declared with glee. Annihilape thought, "Help! I wish I hadn't evolved." Ash updated his team at the center: Pikachu, Quilava, Bayleaf, Noctowl, Croconaw, Charizard, and one Pokémon egg. He transferred Noctowl for now. He planned to use it in the next gorgeous competition. He also quietly apologized to Annihilape for letting Oak examine it. Later, Ash rejoined Xiaoyao and the others. "We heard from Nurse Joy that Mr. Daigo is on the island," Xiaosheng blurted excitedly. "President Stone is Mr. Raff Daigo's father. How could that be wrong?" Ash replied, a twitch to his mouth. "No, Mr. Daigo is in the Granite Cave," Xiaosheng corrected. "All right, let's go check it out," Ash decided. Ash left the Pokemon egg with Nurse Joy again, who knew what dangers Granite Cave might hold, and the group headed toward it. On the way, they were ambushed by Team Rocket. Xiaoyao and Musashi's Wurmples clashed in a tense mirror match. After a scare, they managed to send Team Rocket flying and continued on to Granite Cave safely. To be continued. Chapter 25, Granite Cave. Capturing Laren Xiaozhi's group arrived at the mouth of a pitch-black cavern. "This is it, Granite Cave," Xiaosheng said excitedly. "Is Mr. Daigo looking for gems in here?" Xiaoyao peered at the unremarkable entrance and then turned to Xiaosheng. "Do you know what it's like inside?" Xiaosheng scratched his head. He looked embarrassed. Clearly he hadn't done his homework. "Granite Cave is full of Aron," Ash explained. "They've tunneled so many passages underneath it that it's like a maze. Be careful." Xiaoyao glanced at Ash with admiration. Even Xiaogang felt Ash was becoming more reliable. The four of them, Ash, Xiaoyao, Xiaosheng, and Xiaogang, stepped into the cave. Darkness swallowed everything. "Whoa, this is what being inside a cave feels like," Xiaoyao said. "Princess, this is a cave. Be careful," Xiaosheng muttered, half joking. "Quilava, come out. Light the way," Ash called. Quilava sprang forward, its flames lighting the tunnel. The glow made everything much clearer. Quilava padded ahead, with Ash, Pikachu, and the others following. Soon they came to a fork with two tunnel entrances. Xiaogang pulled out a sticker marker and stuck it between them. "That way, if we get lost, we'll know which way we came from," he said. They picked one passage and pressed deeper. A huge cavern opened above them, a shaft letting sunlight pour down. Just as they approached beneath it to get a look around, the ground gave way, the rock collapsed, and they plunged into a deep pit. "What's going on?" Xiaogang cried. "Wahaha! Got you!" came a familiar taunt from the rim of the sinkhole. Team Rocket's trio, Jesse, James, and Meowth, were dancing at the edge. "We did it!" They fell for it. Ash immediately used his aura and sensed the weakening ground. "Team Rocket, don't move," he shouted, but the warning came too late. The dirt and stone cracked again and everyone slid down. Ash, Xiaoyao, Pikachu, Xiaosheng Sheng, Xilang, and Team Rocket ended up separated in the pit. Ash dug himself free from the rubble and used his aura to locate the others. Pikachu scurried out beside him. "Pika!" Pikachu chirped. From another mound, Xiaoyao crawled out, coughing but okay. "We fell from up there. It's so high," Xiaoyao said, a chill of fear running through her. Ash analyzed quickly. "We've dropped to a lower level. It must have been Team Rocket digging that loosened the floor, and then they were jumping around up there, which caused the collapse. First, let's find Xiaosheng and the others. Then we'll figure out how to get back," Xiaoyao insisted. "We should head up. They'll probably try to climb up too. It'll be easier to help them from above," Ash said. He activated his aura to scout and led Xiaoyao and Pikachu down a tunnel. Team Rocket, along with Quilava, who had been providing light, had no choice but to cooperate. They needed Quilava's flames to find a way out. Meanwhile, Xiao Sheng, Xiao Gang, and Si Lang were together somewhere else in the pit, exchanging complaints and then searching for exits. The tunnel Ash led them into was dark, but his aura kept them from getting lost. Xiao Yao, adventurous at heart, still felt uneasy in the pitch black. A soft sound, Ko, made her jump. Ash grabbed her hand instinctively. "Don't be afraid. I'm here." She felt his grip and blushed, then let him lead her toward the sound. A Lyron emerged from the shadows. "It's only a Lyron," Ash said, releasing her hand. Xiao Yao relaxed, but felt a little disappointed that it wasn't something more dramatic. The Lyron was a hefty male steel rock Pokémon with the heavy metal ability. Its weight effectively doubled. It looked strong and stubborn, familiar to trainers at the early stages of gym leadership. It bore the sort of moves a tough opponent would: heavy slam, dragon rush, double edge, and had a Dynamax type of steel. "All right, Pikachu, try to catch it. Use Surf," Ash ordered. Pikachu summoned a surprising surge of water that crashed at Lyron, but the armored Pokémon flashed white and charged out, deflecting the wave. Lyron's defense is really high. "Pikachu, full power, Volt Tackle," Ash barked. "Pika, Pie!" Pikachu unleashed a devastating Volt Tackle and toppled Lyron. Ash threw a Pokeball and captured it, then sent the ball off to Professor Oak's laboratory. "Nice, I caught a Lyron," Ash cheered. Then his aura prickled. Something about the cave wall had changed. He pointed and ordered, "Pikachu, Iron Tail!" Pikachu struck the rock with a glinting tail. Stones fell away to reveal a glazed, shimmering gem. "Another one of those stones!" Xiao Yao exclaimed. Ash recalled that a Shroomish had given him a similar gem earlier, a small, valuable-looking artifact. He grinned at the find. Once again, their luck had paid off. They climbed steadily and eventually reached a higher passage. Ash called out, "Is anyone there? We're up here?" He picked up an aura signal and sprinted toward it with Xiao Yao and Pikachu. Ahead, a young man with silvery blue hair stood with an Aron at his side. "That's Champion Mr. Daigo," Ash exclaimed. "Huh? Mr. Daigo?" Xiao Yao echoed in surprise. "Hello, are you lost?" Mr. Daigo asked politely. "I'm Ash from Pallet Town. This is Pikachu and Xiao Yao. Some of my friends are missing. Could you help us? We don't know the layout of this place." Ash asked earnestly. Mr. Daigo had been exploring here for a long time and clearly knew the cave well. "My father mentioned you recently," Mr. Daigo said. "Don't worry, leave it to me." He suddenly frowned as he remembered something. "So that's why the Aron were acting like that earlier." "Did we disturb them? That's dangerous," Ash said. "Let's go, quick." Mr. Daigo led them at a brisk pace. Soon they reached a broken path where the floor had collapsed. From below came the sound of footsteps and voices. "Xiao Gang! Xiao Sheng! Quilava up here!" Ash called. "Ash! Princess!" came the reply. They heard Xiao Gang and the others call back, and Ash could sense their aura. "We're fine. We met Mr. Daigo," they reported. "Head straight from here," Mr. Daigo instructed. "At the next intersection, there's a waterfall. Meet there." Everyone acknowledged and ran. A herd of Aron charged toward them as they approached the waterfall. "Bayleaf, sweet scent, now!" Xiao Gang cried. Bayleaf breathed a gentle, floral fragrance that soothed the Aron, gradually calming the charging group. Mr. Daigo stepped forward and explained to the Aron that the newcomers were not a threat. Slowly, the Aron turned back and began to dig through the debris from the earlier collapse. At that moment, Team Rocket made their usual dramatic entrance. "Prepare for trouble," they started, and their Pokémon leaped into action. Seviper, Cacnea, to her own surprise, latched onto Sealang and gave him a surprise hug. "Ow, ow! Put me down!" "Pikachu, Thunderbolt," Ash ordered, but Mr. Daigo intervened. "Wait, the Pokémon in this cave live in peace. Anyone who comes to disturb them will have me to answer to. Aggron, go!" Aggron roared and unleashed a purple-black hyper beam that blasted Team Rocket skyward. The trio shot into the air like fireworks. "This is awful," they wailed as they tumbled away. Mr. Daigo recalled his Aggron. Xiao Sheng stared in awe. "As expected of the champion. Amazing," he breathed. "Former champion," Mr. Daigo corrected with a wry smile. "I handed the title to my friend Wallace." Meanwhile, the Aron were furiously digging through a mound of dirt that had tumbled from the wall where Team Rocket had broken through. One Aron unearthed a small red stone and brought it to Mr. Daigo. "Found it," he cried. The stone was a firestone, one Mr. Daigo had been searching for in this cave. "Firestone," Xiao Yao repeated, curious. It helps Pokemon certain species evolve, Mr. Daigo explained patiently. For example, it can evolve Growlithe into Arcanine. Oh, and Vulpix evolves into Ninetales and Eevee into Flareon, Ash added. Ash's eyes lit up. Mr. Daigo, I want to challenge you. No problem, Mr. Daigo said with a nod. To be continued. Chapter 26, Battle with Steven. The little crayfish attacks. Everyone gathered outside Granite Cave. Ash and Steven faced each other across the clearing. Steven was the first to send out his Pokemon. Aggron, he called. Aggron emerged, its silver armor gleaming. Ability, heavy metal. Strength, quasi-heavenly king, mid-stage. Ash, go! Charizard! Ash answered, sending out his lone quasi-heavenly king. Charizard stepped forward, eyes fixed on Aggron. Ash knew that even if this Aggron wasn't Steven's ace, it was still a champion's Pokemon, much stronger than any wild Pokemon. Aggron Metal Claw, Steven ordered. Charizard, Dragon Claw, Ash replied. Aggron's silver claws met Charizard's emerald claws with a series of crashing blows. The two Pokemon exchanged powerful strikes. Dust and debris kicked up around them. Xiaosheng's eyes sparkled in excitement. Xiaogang and Xiaoyao watched intently as well. After a moment, Ash raised his voice. Charizard, the warm-up's over. Let's show our bond. He tossed the Charizard X Megastone he'd traded for via the system. Charizard caught it, and Ash activated his keystone on the Universal Ring. Mega Evolve! Charizard! Mega Charizard X! Chains of energy linked, and Charizard began to Mega Evolve. Its scales shifted to black and blue, bony spikes appeared on its shoulders, and blue flames flared at the sides of its mouth. Mega Charizard X roared toward the sky, then turned to face Aggron, brimming with fighting spirit. Mega Evolution! Xiaogang and the others exclaimed in surprise. I didn't expect you to have mastered Mega Evolution, Ash. Well done. Aggron, Double Edge, Steven called, knowing the threat Mega Charizard X posed. Mega Charizard X, Dragon Tail, Ash answered. The two titans clashed. Mega Charizard X's Dragon Tail interrupted Aggron's charge and sent it reeling back. Aggron, Iron Head, Steven ordered. Charizard, Dragon Claw, Ash countered. Their blows collided again and again, like two colossal beasts battling for dominance. The exchange thrilled Xiaogang and the others. As expected, Mega Evolution really boosts power, Steven noted coolly. Aggron, go for Heavy Slam at full strength. Charizard, Flare Blitz, Ash shouted. There was a deafening collision. When the smoke cleared, Charizard had reverted from Mega form and lay panting and badly hurt, and Aggron had been knocked down, unable to continue. Both Pokemon were exhausted and fallen. You did great, Charizard, Ash said, recalling his partner. Steven recalled Aggron with a nod of respect. You've come a long way, Steven admitted. That Aggron was trained as one of my main Pokemon. Your Charizard is slightly stronger today. Xiaosheng and Xiaoyao's faces lit up with admiration. Xiaogang beamed. Ash had clearly grown stronger. This is probably your first time using Mega Evolution, Steven added. Get used to that power surge. I look forward to our next battle. I'll go all out then. Thank you, Mr. Steven, Ash replied. After exchanging farewells, Steven left. Ash was instantly surrounded by Xiaogang and the others, who peppered him with excited questions. Can Torchic or Wurmple Mega evolve? Xiaoyao blurted. When did you get Mega Evolution? Xiaosheng asked. I want to see Mega Evolution. Xiaogang cried. Ash deflected their questions with the prepared excuse he'd practiced. Xiaoyao, however, still had one bright thought. Those gems look just like the one Shroomish gave you. If the stones in Granite Cave are the same, Megastones must exist in Hoenn too. I'm going to find a Megastone for Blaziken, she declared thrilledly. If it were that easy, someone would have reported it ages ago, Xiaosheng said dryly. The next day, the group set up camp on a beautiful beach to train. Charizard's breakthrough to Quasi-Heavenly King, mid-stage, after the battle, was reason to celebrate. Ash arranged training routines and held the Pokemon egg he'd been carrying. Charizard trained with specialized gear. Pikachu worked on learning Electric Net. Bayleaf practiced Energy Ball. Croconaw worked on Psybeam. Quilava drilled Wild Charge. Ash also began preparing Noctowl for a Pokemon contest performance. Princess, are you ready? Ash is practicing, Xiaosheng said, looking at Xiaoyao, who'd been idle. That's a great question, Xiaoyao cried, leaping into an open area to rehearse. A Pokemon contest is all about showing off beauty and style, especially the entrance when the Pokemon comes out. That's a big part of the first round score. She pulled out a Pokeball. Watch me. Step onto the stage, make an entrance. Torchic, Wurmple, showtime. She spun theatrically and sent out Torchic and Wurmple, trying to display flair. The two Pokémon, however, simply looked around and scampered off in different directions. No, that's not right. You have to spin, kick, then spin again. Xiaoyao tried to demonstrate, nearly tripping. She laughed awkwardly. Sorry, I'm still practicing. A little calmer, Ash said, walking over. Most contests only allow one Pokémon to participate, and it's the Pokémon's natural charm they judge. Let the Pokémon show itself. How's your performance coming, Ash? Xiaoyao asked. Almost. I've got the plan. Just need to practice, he answered. Suddenly, movement came from their tent. They all turned and saw the tent stakes being ripped out. The whole tent collapsed, and a pile of clothes on top of it began sliding toward the sea. The tent, our laundry, someone shouted. They dashed after it. A tree up ahead caught the tent and held it for a moment, and then a small mound shifted near the shoreline. There, Xiaosheng pointed at the mound. You little pest, Wurmple. String shot, Xiaoyao ordered. Wurmple shot out a web and wrapped it around whatever was under the mound, but its strength wasn't enough. It was nearly dragged away. Wurmple, Xiaoyao cried. Bayleaf, vine whip, Ash called, joining in. Bayleaf lashed its vines, and Ash grabbed hold. With a combined heave, they yanked whatever had been pulling the tent free from the sand. A small red crayfish was hauled out, clinging stubbornly. It scrambled and snapped its claws, clearly the cause of the commotion. To be continued. Chapter 27, Capturing Corfish, the Egg Hatched. Corfish raised its red pincers and let out an angry cry at Ash and the others. It had been dragged from its burrow by people setting up tents on the beach, an enormous humiliation for the strongest of the Corfish family. Xiaoyao pulled out her Pokédex and scanned it. Corfish type, water. Ability, Hypercutter, prevents the opponent from lowering its attack. Strength, elite mid-stage moves, Bubble Beam, Harden, Crab Hammer, Water Gun, Taunt. Dynamax type, water. Wudu Island really is a blessed place, Ash said with a smile. There's a great haul today. Go, Croconaw, catch it. Croconaw leapt out and fixed a determined stare on the Corfish. The crustacean puffed up its little chest and answered with a fierce chittering sound. Croconaw, use Psybeam, Ash ordered. Blue energy gathered at Croconaw's snout and shot out in a shimmering beam. Corfish burrowed into the sand to dodge and returned fire from a different angle with a jet of bubble energy. Croconaw danced nimbly, dodging each attack with an almost playful routine. Xiaoyao's eyes widened. Croconaw actually dodged all of that by dancing. That's normal, Xiaogang said, used to the behavior. As a Totodile line, that move is basically a trained reflex. It saved them more times than I can count. Close the distance. Ice Fang, Ash instructed. A blue glow ran along Croconaw's teeth. It lunged and tried to bite Corfish. White light flared across Corfish's pincers as it met the attack with a devastating crab hammer. The force sent Croconaw tumbling, and the hit left Corfish frozen solid. Wow, Corfish's crab hammer packs a punch, Xiaogang exclaimed. Seeing his opening, Ash grinned. While it's frozen, use Crunch. Croconaw recovered and bit down on the immobilized Corfish. The shell cracked under the onslaught, and Corfish collapsed, unable to continue. Ash seized the moment. Pokeball, go! The sphere struck and shook, 1, 2, 3, and the light went out. Yes, I caught Corfish! Ash cheered as the Pokeball's signal transmitted the new partner to Professor Oak's lab. That's great. You've caught so many Pokemon, Xiaoyao said, a little envious. I've only got one Wurmple so far. The journey of a trainer is about meeting and raising Pokemon, Ash replied kindly. You'll make more partners soon. Just then, Xiaoyao's Wurmple began to glow as it responded to her will. Wurmple's evolving, she cried. The caterpillar's glow condensed into a white cocoon around it. On the other side of the beach, Musashi's Wurmple, Team Rockets, was also evolving into a light purple cocoon. Is it a Silcoon or a Cascoon? Xiaoyao asked anxiously. Ash looked over and smiled. It's a Silcoon. Xiaoyao's face brightened. Really? A Silcoon that evolves into Beautifly? Her excitement bubbled into an irritated pout aimed at Ash. Ash! Egg! Xiaosheng suddenly yelled. Ash glanced down and saw the egg in his arms glowing. The light intensified until it burst into a flash. Two red, flat shapes appeared first, then a small, porcelain-like Pokémon emerged, its head mostly hidden under a green bowl-shaped cap and a white dress-like body swaying gently. Ralts! Xiaosheng cried. So cute! The pink-cheeked Ralts rubbed itself against Ash as if it already knew him. Xiao Yao's eyes sparkled. The little psychic fairy Pokemon seemed born to be doted on. Ralts gender, female. Type psychic fairy. Ability, trace. Copies the opponent's ability upon entering battle. Stage, baby, early. Moves, growl, disarming voice, confusion, mystical fire, Dynamax, fairy, Ash beamed. A female Ralts was perfect. Gardevoir in the future. Spoiled and cherished. If it had been male, he might have steered it toward Galad. But for now, he was happy to pamper it. Ralts smiled and waved. Its red horn picked up on everyone's feelings. It brightened, especially when Ash showed affection. The sight warmed everyone's hearts, everyone except Bayleaf, who took one look and seemed to sulk in the corner. Fortunately, Bayleaf understood the situation and didn't make a scene. Ash popped open a Pokeball and gently captured Ralts. Charizard, head back to Professor Oak's lab for now, he told his partner. With a roar of agreement, Charizard accepted. The 6 Pokemon limit felt too small to Ash now, and he decided he'd have a talk with Professor Oak later. After sending Charizard away, Ash released Ralts again. The little Ralts looked around shyly and then joined the others, who took turns playing with it and building affection. On that sunny beach, the group celebrated 3 happy events. Ash's egg hatched into Ralts, he caught a Corphish, and Xiao Yao's Wurmple became a Silcoon. The day passed in laughter and warmth. The next morning, the party followed a river upstream. Xiao Yao, ever the dramatist, put on a commentary voice. Mystery lovers, thank you for waiting. The Xiao Yao exploration team is heading into unknown territory. Today's destination is an unnamed river on Wudo Island. A drop of water becomes a river, then flows to the sea, Xiao Gang mused, looking around. It's kind of romantic. If we follow this upstream, we might find new Pokemon, Xiao Sheng said, checking the Pokenav. The Xiao Yao exploration team is walking an uncharted trail along the river. What wonders will we find? Xiao Yao continued, narrating as they went. After some time, they arrived at the foot of a huge waterfall. The rush and spray stunned them. The cascade plunged with overwhelming force. No way. That waterfall is blocking our path. What should we do? Xiao Yao said, both playfully dramatic and genuinely concerned. If they couldn't get past it, their exploration might end here. Even a Magikarp wouldn't climb this, Xiao Sheng said, helpless. But places like this are where unknown Pokemon often live, Xiao Gang said, more determined than ever. He looked at the torrent as if it were a challenge to overcome. To be continued. Chapter 28, Hoenn Water-type Starter Breeding Base. Recently, seeing Ash catch several Pokemon made Xiao Gang and Xiao Yao desperate to catch new ones of their own. Filled with excitement at this unfamiliar place, they pressed forward. Ash, with Ralts and Pikachu perched on his shoulders, stepped up and said, "All right, let's each use our Pokemon to get up the waterfall. We're all trainers. Let's have our Pokemon help us climb," Xiao Gang agreed. "Okay, I'll go first." Xiao Gang called, sending out his Lotad. He tied a rope to a tree above and used Lotad's water gun to secure it. As a rock-type gym leader, he had some climbing skill of his own and made his way up with Lotad's help. Inspired, Xiao Yao sent out her Silcoon. She used String Shot to pull herself up the rope. Xiao Sheng, who didn't have a Pokemon with him, asked Ash for help. "Come on, Noctowl, agility, then confusion. Take us up." Ralts was still too young to carry both Ash and Xiao Sheng, so Ash accepted. Noctowl sped up with agility and lifted them by confusion. Before long, the 4 of them had all crossed the waterfall. "Wow, teamwork between trainers and Pokemon," Xiao Yao cheered. The river above the falls was shrouded in mist and full of aquatic plants. The place felt almost magical. "I didn't expect it to look like this up here," Ash said. "The current here is very slow." Xiao Sheng noted after checking his Pokenav. "This must be a tributary. The main stream across seems much faster." They walked on, and the soil grew looser beneath their feet. Xiao Gang warned, "Watch your footing. This ground is soft." As they left the mist, the view opened onto a bright, marshy clearing where a group of adorable Pokemon were play fighting. "Look, Mudkip," Xiao Sheng pointed excitedly. These were clearly young Mudkip, about half the size of normal ones. "When I first met a Mudkip, I wasn't too fond of it," Xiao Yao admitted. "But these babies are so cute." "Perfect chance to catch one," she added and dashed toward them. "Wait, Xiao Yao, be careful. The Mudkip here might." Ash started to warn, but an adult mudkip burst from the grass and sprayed Xiaoyao with a water gun to defend the young. The sound of splashing startled everyone. One young mudkip tumbled into the water and was swept away by a suddenly powerful current. Pika! Pikachu cried. That's the main stream, Xiaosheng exclaimed. The fast water was dangerous for the little Pokemon. Xiaogang was about to send out Lotad to help when Ash called, Noctowl, agility, rush over. Confusion, lift that mudkip out. Noctowl darted across the surface and, using confusion, gently lifted the baby mudkip from the water and set it safely on shore. Relief washed over the group. Ash stroked the mudkip's head and murmured, You all right? The baby mudkip chirped and chirped happily. The adult mudkip relaxed a little, but remained watchful of the strangers. Xiaogang softened his tone. You were protecting your babies. You don't have to be afraid of us. The adult mudkip paused, then slipped back into the grass. Ash held the rescued hatchling and said to Xiaogang, Can you check it over? Sure. Xiaogang inspected the mudkip and found it uninjured. Just then, an old man stepped out of the reeds. His hair jutted up in a way that made him almost look like a mudkip. An old mudkip spirit, Xiaoyao exclaimed dramatically. Xiaosheng rolled his eyes. Don't call him a monster. The old man bristled. You were going to steal the mudkip I've been looking after? Unforgivable. Ash quickly explained. No, we only saved the baby mudkip. The little mudkip chirped to back him up. The old man's expression softened. Oh my, is that so? Then I'm sorry, I'm Numata, but you can call me Grandpa Numa. I'm the one who breeds mudkip in this swamp. Ash from Pallet Town. Nice to meet you, Ash said. I'm Xiaoyao, Xiaoyao added. I'm Xiaosheng, Xiaosheng introduced himself. And I'm Xiaogang. Grandpa Numa raised a hand. This swamp is restricted. There was a fence at the entrance. Did you climb over the waterfall? Yes, Xiaogang admitted. We came up the falls for training. We didn't know this place was off limits. We're sorry, all four apologized. Grandpa Numa waved it off. It's all right. You saved my mudkip. Why don't you come and have some tea? Thank you, Grandpa Numa, the group chorused. He led them to a small wooden hut tucked among the reeds. Inside were incubators, each cradling eggs that were bluish with orange spots. Xiaosheng's eyes lit up. Mudkip eggs. It's my little nursery, Grandpa Numa explained. I tend these eggs and care for the hatchlings. This is my first time seeing a mudkip egg, Xiaoyao said, leaning in to look. Xiaogang frowned thoughtfully. Hey, Grandpa Numa, why is it that trainers usually train the 3 starter Pokemon they get to similar levels? Grandpa Numa chuckled. Many trainers wonder that. There are people like me, commissioned by the Pokemon League, who specifically hatch and raise eggs for others. I see, Xiaogang said, understanding dawning. Xiaoyao asked, So Dr. Otamaki doesn't do that? He trains his own Pokemon? He catches and researches his own, Grandpa Numa nodded. There are all kinds of roles, breeders, researchers, and fanciers. Most of what I do is different from what a trainer imagines. Xiaogang's expression turned thoughtful. So breeding can be a job. Would you like to see how mudkip hatch? Grandpa Numa asked. I can show you. Really? Thank you, everyone replied, thrilled. To be continued. Chapter 29. Got a baby mudkip. Afterwards, Grandpa Numa led Ash and the others to the hatching area. 3 mudkip eggs sat there, ready to hatch today. Under everyone's watchful eyes, one egg glowed white. The glow intensified, and with a soft crack, a tiny mudkip emerged. Ralts watched the newborn with delight. After all, it had hatched from an egg only yesterday. Wow, that baby mudkip is so cute. Xiaoyao crouched down to get a better look. Of course, the mudkip promptly shot a jet of water that splashed right in her face. Everyone exchanged looks. Of course, Xiaoyao and Mudkip were instantly at odds. Grandpa Numa, is that big mudkip over there from this place? It looks so strong. Ash asked. Oh no, that one's a wild mudkip that wandered in from who knows where, Grandpa Numa said after a moment's thought. It seems to have adopted the mudkip here as companions. Then that wild one must be really strong, Xiaogang said. Grandpa Numa nodded, but his expression turned wistful. It is strong, but it's grown too large and its level is too high. No novice trainer could handle it. Besides, the companions it has here will eventually disappear, so it doesn't have true partners. I see, Xiaogang said, regretful. As they made their way back to the wooden house, a baby mudkip leapt into Ash's arms with a cheerful Jalele. That's the one Ash saved, Xiaoyao exclaimed. Ash's Ralts and the baby Mudkip immediately started playing together. Then an alarm blared. Ding-a-ling-ling. Ah, that sound. This can't be good. I need to go check, Grandpa Numa said and rushed out. Let's follow him and see if we can help, Ash suggested, holding Ralts and the new Mudkip. Okay, let's see what the Xiaoyao exploration team runs into next, Xiaoyao said, excited. They followed Grandpa Numa, while Xiao Gang lingered to take another look at the big wild Mudkip. The rest, Ash, Xiaoyao, and Xiao Sheng, caught up to Grandpa Numa at a broken section of the fence. Who did this? Grandpa Numa demanded angrily. A trio of voices answered with their usual theatrics. Prepare for trouble. Make it double. Team Rocket's blasting off again. Meowth, Musashi, and Kojiro announced themselves. Grandpa Numa looked utterly bewildered. Team Rockets, what are they? He asked. Those are the Team Rocket guys. They steal other people's Pokémon. Xiaoyao warned. What? You wicked villains. You want to come here and steal the Mudkip I've been raising for the Pokémon League. Grandpa Numa blurted out. Kojiro brightened. A Mudkip, a very rare Pokémon, Meowth chimed in, and it's backed by the Pokémon League's quality guarantee, Meow. You know the boss will love something like that, Musashi sighed, already daydreaming. And if we please the boss, Kojiro added, we'll be promoted, branch managers and executives. Grandpa Numa stared, more confused than ever. Xiaoyao muttered, honestly, it's all Grandpa Numa's fault for talking too much. That's why they got the idea. Oh dear, really? I'm sorry. My wife tells me the same thing, but I can't help it. I always say what's on my mind, like what happened over there. Okay, Grandpa Numa, stop talking. Ash quickly cut in before he could reveal anything else. Grandpa Numa slapped a hand over his mouth. That was close, he said. Meowth, go! Musashi ordered. All right, activate the robot. Meow, Meowth said. He pulled out a remote and triggered a clunky robot they'd had built on credit. It hauled a shovel and wore a bamboo basket around its waist. As Team Rocket tried to control the robot to snag the baby Mudkip, Ash shouted, Team Rocket, I won't let you. Quilava, Croconaw, alternate flamethrower, and hydro pump. Meowth felt a bad premonition. Under the alternating onslaught of fire and water, the robot sputtered and collapsed, scrapped in seconds. We're finished, Meow, Meowth cried. Pikachu, finish them with a thunderbolt, Ash ordered. Pika-Chu! Pikachu's bolt struck the villain's machine with a resounding boom. Meowth yelped. That was nasty. Musashi and Kojiro howled as they were sent blasting off. Just then, Xiao Gang arrived with the big Mudkip. Huh? Are we too late? Is it already over? It's all right. Everything's fine, Ash said. It looks like that Mudkip and Xiao Gang bonded really well. At first, the Mudkip was so wary of him, Xiao Sheng added. As expected of Xiao Gang, Xiaoyao gushed, looking admiringly at him. Xiao Gang scratched his head, a bit embarrassed. Xiao Gang, I want to ask you a favor, Grandpa Numa said, stepping forward. Huh? What is it? Xiao Gang asked. This little one can't have a real companion here. Its future here is uncertain. Just now it became best friends with you. If you don't mind, would you take this Mudkip with you? Grandpa Numa asked. Really? Thank you, Grandpa Numa. Xiao Gang snapped to attention, grateful. He looked at the Mudkip and asked gently, Do you want to come with me? Gila? Mudkip thought for a moment, then nodded and leapt into Xiao Gang's arms. That's wonderful. Mudkip, from today on you're my best partner. With that, the Rock-type gym leader had picked up another non-Rock-type Pokemon. Xiao Gang, I'll leave Mudkip in your care, Grandpa Numa said. I'll take good care of him, Xiao Gang promised. Jelle. As Ash and the others prepared to say goodbye, the baby Mudkip Ash had rescued began to cry. Jalele. Everyone had to soothe it for a moment. Grandpa Numa looked at the little Mudkip's sad face and made a decision. Ash, if you don't mind, will you take this Mudkip with you? But it belongs to the League, Ash began, conflicted. Don't worry, Grandpa Numa laughed. I've raised Mudkip for the League my whole life. Giving away one won't be a problem. Thank you, Grandpa Numa. Ash bowed in thanks. Mudkip, will you come with me? Ash asked. Jalile, the baby Mudkip nodded happily. Gender, male. Type water. Ability, torrent. When HP is less than 1/3, water-type moves become 1.5 times powerful. Condition, normal. Early stage, baby. Moves, tackle, growl, water gun, mud slap. Dynamax type, Water Ash pulled out a Pokeball, caught Mudkip, and then teleported the unsuspecting Bayleaf back. When Bailey found herself at Professor Oak's lab, she immediately began creating a ruckus, something she hadn't been able to do before. And so the adventure ended perfectly, with both Ash and Xiaogang each gaining a Mudkip companion. To be continued. Ash's team: Pikachu, Noctowl, Quilava, Croconaw, Ralts, Mudkip. Chapter 30. Reunion with Dr. Otamaki. 1, 2, 1, 2. Xiaozhi's group practiced morning exercises with their Pokémon along the beach. The sea breeze and the rhythm of the waves put everyone in high spirits. Xiaoyao complained about being tired most of the way, but she kept going. After the session, they were walking back along the shore when Xiaogang suddenly halted the group. "Wait a minute," he said, pointing toward the cliff. Everyone followed his finger and saw a man clinging to the cliff edge. He wore flip-flops and a white coat over shorts, his hair a messy bird's nest tangle, a beard on his chin. He was unmistakable. "That looks like Dr. Otamaki. What is he doing clinging to the cliff?" Xiaoyao cried. "Let's go check on him," Ash suggested, and they ran toward the cliff. As a field researcher, Dr. Otamaki preferred being outdoors to sitting in a lab. He loved investigating wild Pokémon in their habitats, and today he was dangerously close to the edge, studying Wingull nests on the seaside face. He was so focused that he didn't notice a Wingull returning to its nest. Seeing someone rummaging in its home, the Wingull pecked at Dr. Otamaki's hair, and the startled professor slipped. "Ah!" he screamed. "Noctowl, use confusion to steady him. Croconaw, water gun to drive off the Wingull," Ash ordered. Noctowl's confusion enveloped Dr. Otamaki, keeping him calm, while Croconaw blasted water to scatter the Wingull. Ash reacted fast and managed to get Dr. Otamaki to safety as Noctowl slowly lowered him down. "Thank you, Noctowl. Croconaw, get back and rest," Dr. Otamaki said, brushing himself off. "Are you all right? You almost scared us to death," Ash said. "Haha, I'm fine. Just a minor mishap. I didn't expect you'd save me again, Ash," Dr. Otamaki replied, waving a hand. They sat on a large rock and caught up. "I missed this," Dr. Otamaki sighed. "It's been so many days since you set out. I'm glad you all made it here safely." "Thank you for helping back then," Xiaogang said. "Why are you on Wudo Island?" Ash asked. "I wanted to study the island's Pokémon," Dr. Otamaki explained. "The Wingull here build nests on very steep cliffs. Climbing up there like you did was dangerous," Xiaoyao scolded, looking at the cliff. "Come on, princess," Xiaosheng said proudly. "In the field, Dr. Otamaki is a legend. He'll go anywhere to observe a Pokémon." "Is that so?" Xiaoyao said, rubbing her head awkwardly. Dr. Otamaki laughed. "So, how did you all end up here, Ash? I thought you'd be near Slateport by now." "We've been training here for a while," Ash said. "The environment is great for it." "I see. Ash is training hard, and Xiaoyao is aiming for the Pokémon contest," Dr. Otamaki said with a nod. "What are your plans now, Dr. Otamaki?" Ash asked. "I'll continue some more fieldwork around here," he replied. "Can we follow you?" Xiaosheng asked eagerly. "Sure, no problem," Dr. Otamaki agreed. "Great," Xiaosheng leaped up. "Maybe we'll find something interesting." "We just made a detailed training plan," Xiaogang protested, pulling out a sheet of paper. Ash grinned. "Plans don't always survive contact with reality." "Fine, let's go," Xiaogang sighed, folding the plan away. Xiaoyao brightened at the prospect of not doing special training and joined in immediately. They followed Dr. Otamaki toward a secluded cave, unaware of events happening above them. On the cliff top, a red-armed helicopter touched down, and people in red uniforms poured out, Team Magma. Out at sea, a huge blue submarine broke the surface, its hull marked with a pirate-like emblem, Team Aqua. 5 members in blue diving suits emerged from the sub, led by a woman with a striking figure and long, wavy red hair. One by one, they dove and swam toward Wudo Island's cliffs. Back in the cave, Dr. Otamaki led them deeper. "There might be wild Golbat in here," he said. "Golbat? Let's go!" Xiaosheng was already excited. The cave was deep but still had enough light for them to explore. Xiaoyao peered around in wonder as they moved inward. Xiaosheng kept hoping a Golbat would show itself. "I think the Golbat will be in the deepest part," Xiaogang guessed, rubbing his chin. "Is it getting brighter?" Ash asked, pointing ahead. 2 lamps flanked a wooden door set into the rock. "Looks like a secret base," Ash whispered, eyeing the style. Xiaosheng went forward and knocked. Then, with a click, he opened the door himself. He looked at the faces around him and protested. "I didn't mean to. Honestly, I just wanted to try the handle. I didn't expect it to be unlocked." To be continued. Chapter 31, Team Magma and Team Aqua, 2 chapters combined. Is anyone here? Excuse us. Xiaozhi's group stepped inside. The room was small but surprisingly well equipped. A computer, bookshelves, tables, and chairs. On the table sat dolls of Ruriri and Zigzagoon, which made the place feel oddly cozy. What on earth is this? Everyone exclaimed. There's even a personal computer, Xiao Yao said. Xiao Sheng went to the bookshelf, pulled out a book, and held it up. Oh, this is Pokémon Winning Methods. Really? A book like that? Xiao Yao came up behind him, astonished. Don't touch it, a tiny voice shouted. The group spun around to see a little boy standing behind a Ninkata. He looked nervous and said quickly, You can't just barge into my secret base without permission. Ah, a Ninkata, someone said. A secret base, another breathed. Sorry, we didn't know, Ash started. The boy's voice trembled. Get out, he cried. We didn't mean to intrude, Ash said, backing up. I won't listen. Ninkata, fury swipes, the boy shouted, nearly in tears, and chased Ash's group away. Reluctantly, they had to retreat the way they had come. Hidden nearby, Team Rocket overheard the commotion. The trio immediately rushed in, chased the little boy out, and left the Ninkata behind. They quickly wrapped the Ninkata up and called Giovanni. Ash's group wandered deeper into another part of the cave for a while, and then left after spotting a cluster of Golbat. Wow, that's my first time seeing so many Golbat, Xiao Sheng said happily. Golbat are usually sluggish during the day, Dr. Otamaki explained. Xiao Yao paused. She had seen a boy sitting on a rock a little way off earlier and pointed. Hey, that's the same boy. They went over and found it was indeed the timid boy from the secret base. Ash stepped forward. Sorry about barging into your secret base earlier. I'm Ash from Pallet Town. What's your name? Pikachu, Ash's friend offered cheerfully. My name is Kazuki, the boy said. His eyes were red and he looked ready to cry. My Ninkata, it was taken by bad people. Was it a man and a woman and a Meowth? Ash asked. Kazuki nodded miserably. Team Rocket, Xiao Yao said angrily. Those guys again. They're terrible. Kazuki dropped into a dejected silence. I've never won a single Pokémon battle, he said, voice barely a whisper. You've never won? Xiao Sheng echoed, surprised. Kazuki glared at him. Sorry, Xiao Sheng stammered. I like Pokémon, but I hate battling, Kazuki admitted. Losing all the time it's boring. I don't want to lose anymore, so I built a secret base where nobody bothers me. Ninkata helped me build it. We're safe there. Xiao Yao's patience snapped. You can't just hide forever. If you want to keep your Pokémon, you have to train them and battle with friends. Hiding won't change anything. Ash and Xiao Gang nodded. Xiao Sheng rolled his eyes. Princess, you sound great in theory, but you're not exactly subtle trying to convince someone to battle. How about this? Let's go get Ninkata back, Ash suggested. Kazuki's face lit up. Really? Thank you, Ash. Back at the secret base, Team Rocket had been chased off by Team Magma, who then drove a drill vehicle through the wall and opened a tunnel into the ruins beyond. When Ash and the others returned, they found Kazuki's secret base in ruins, tables and chairs smashed, a huge hole punched through the wall leading inward. My secret base, Kazuki said, heartbroken. Who did this? Someone asked. Where's Ninkata? Kazuki asked, frantic. Let's go in and look, Ash said, pointing down the tunnel. They followed it. After a short walk, they emerged into a wide-open area littered with the remains of tall buildings, an ancient ruin. A roar echoed, and an explosion shook the ground. Below, near a partly collapsed building, a man in a red uniform stood with a Mightyena at his side. In the water, a short way off, floated 5 people in blue diving suits with a Carvana. Ash's eyes narrowed. Team Magma and Team Aqua, he muttered. What are they doing here? The two groups were arguing just as Ash had seen them before, each wearing their organization's uniform, each clearly hostile to the other. The woman in blue sneered, Thanks for the work you've done, Team Magma. You're Team Aqua, the man in red retorted. I'll handle things here. Everyone else, fall back. Avoid unnecessary fights. Complete the mission. Team Aqua members fanned out and started searching one of the buildings. The leaders traded barbs. Captain Huoken, since you came personally, Team Magma must value this place, the woman jeered. Captain Izumi, you'll be glad there's water here for your Carvana, Huoken snapped back. Maybe your Mightyena can learn to swim. Want to try? Izumi said with a smile. The two kept up the taunting. From where Ash's group hid, Xiao Yao whispered, They argue a lot. Dr. Otomaki frowned. I've heard those names. They use Pokemon for bad things. But why would they come to these ruins? Let's watch for now, Ash said. There are too many of them. If we head in now, it'd be suicide. My main Pokemon aren't all here. Huoken checked his walkie-talkie. Flame 1 to base. Interior infiltration complete. Team Aqua is present. Continue mission. Copy. Huoken turned to Izumi. What if we don't find what we came for, but everything we want is here? Izumi smiled coldly. I could ask you the same. Even if the power you seek is here, can you control it? Did you bring the red orb? Huoken sneered. If I did, what would you do? Izumi prodded. Huoken stepped forward, ready to fight. Izumi was the first to pull back. I'm not qualified to touch it yet. I don't think you are either, for the so-called blue orb. Ash scowled inwardly. He recognized the references to the red orb and blue orb. The two groups were looking for artifacts to control massive power tied to land and sea. They argued about Earth versus ocean, each claiming their element would triumph. Their ambitions were dangerous, but both seemed to be searching the ruins for some awakening site. Flame 2 to Flame 1, crackled another voice over Huoken's radio. All floors searched, no reaction detected. Understood. All personnel retreat immediately, Huoken ordered. Looks like you came away empty-handed, Huoken said smugly to Izumi. Izumi's radio hissed. Twister A to base, no signal found inside. This doesn't seem to be an awakening shrine. It looks like an ancient tower used for blessings. Izumi bristled at the report, but had to accept it. Disengage, she said. Huoken laughed. See? Nothing for us either. The two sides gathered, glared at one another for a moment, and then both withdrew from the ruins. As they did, Team Rocket popped up nearby, triumphant. Ta-da! Team Rocket is blasting off again. We succeeded. Musashi crowed, holding Kazuki's Ninkata wrapped in white silk. Those kids left with nothing. Let's start our treasure hunt, Meowth added, watching the stolen little Ninkata. Kazuki, the boy shouted. Ash's group stepped out of hiding. Give Ninkata back, Ash demanded. Not without a fight, Jessie called. She ordered Noctowl, who had been nearby, to use confusion. It sent Ash's group tumbling down, disorienting them. We haven't even started treasure hunting yet, Xiaoyao complained. Pikachu, quick attack, then Iron Tail, rescue Ninkata, Ash barked. Pikachu leapt. A flash of light cut through the white silk that bound Ninkata. You annoying Satoshi, the Team Rocket trio yelled. Okay, Kazuki. Now, Kazuki trembled. I'm scared. You have to believe in Ninkata, Ash said firmly. Kazuki looked at his Pokemon. Ninkata smiled and nodded. All right, Ninkata's secret power, Kazuki called, gathering his courage. Pikachu, Thunderbolt, Ash added. Pikachu unleashed a brilliant bolt at the Team Rocket trio. Ninkata released a wave of energy at the same time. Caught between the two attacks, the trio yelped and staggered. This is awful, they cried as they fled in their usual comedic defeat. After the dust settled, Dr. Otomaki sent a report to the League about what had happened in the ruins. Ash and Kazuki had a short battle, mainly to help Kazuki regain his confidence. Ash didn't use his youngest Pokemon, Ralts or Mudkip. He relied on his seasoned Pokemon, and the match taught Kazuki a lot. In the end, Ash won, but more importantly, Kazuki learned to stand up for his Pokemon. Quilava, fighting well in the skirmish earlier, seemed to reach a new level of confidence and performance. Best of all, Kazuki's victory over fear and the rescue of his Ninkata gave him the courage to rebuild his secret base. Thank you, Kazuki told Ash, smiling for the first time in a long while. To be continued. Chapter 32, Beautifly and Dustox, Part 1. After returning from the grotto, Dr. Otomaki and the rest of Ash's group went back to camp. Everyone, come out, Ash called, releasing his Pokemon so Dr. Otomaki could examine them and get acquainted. As the leading Pokemon researcher in Hoenn, Dr. Otomaki was as capable at checkups as Nurse Joy. As expected of Ash's Pokemon, he said, studying each one carefully, Ralts and Mudkip are developing very well. Ralts and Mudkip chirped and nuzzled under his attention. Dr. Otomaki, a practical scientist, could tell at a glance that both were still quite young. Xiaoyao released her Pokemon next. Torchic, Silcoon, come out! Torchic hopped forward and chirped happily when it saw Dr. Otomaki. He examined Torchic and Silcoon with a satisfied nod. Torchic is being cared for excellently, and this Silcoon is in great condition. It should evolve into a beautifully soon. Really? Thank you, Dr. Otomaki. Xiaoyao beamed at the praise. Xiaogang, who had been cooking nearby, joined them. My turn. Fortress, Lotad, and Mudkip, come out. Dr. Otomaki checked each of them thoroughly. This fortress is well trained, and Mudkip looks healthy. Lotad, what are you staring at? Xiaogang blushed. Sorry, this Lotad's a little slow. Xiaogang's Mudkip gently nudged Lotad so it faced Dr. Otomaki. Lotad, it replied, then relaxed. Dr. Otomaki nodded approvingly. All of them are very healthy. Very good. They set out food bowls and poured Pokefood for Pikachu and the others. They opened some Moo Moo milk for the baby Ralts and Mudkip as well. The Pokemon dug in happily. Our food's ready, Xiaogang called. Let's eat. At the word food, Xiao Yao was the first to leap up. The group ate dinner together beneath the trees. Early the next morning, after breakfast, the group once again set aside their special training plans and headed into the forest with Dr. Otomaki. Xiaosheng scanned the canopy with bright eyes. Let me see where the Pokemon are next. Suddenly, he yelped, clutching his head. Everyone turned to see a small, acorn-like Pokemon sitting on the ground beside him. What's this? Xiao Yao pulled out her Pokédex and scanned it. Seedot, the readout told them. 2 more Seedot dropped from a branch above and landed by their feet. Xiaosheng's momentary fear melted into delight. So these are Seedot. They look listless, Xiao Yao observed with concern. Maybe they're thirsty, Dr. Otomaki suggested. I can give them some water. Xiaosheng hurriedly unscrewed his water bottle and poured some into the cap. Here, please. The Seedot merely shook their little heads. Xiaosheng deflated. They don't want it. Seedot usually hang from tree branches to absorb nutrients, Xiaogang offered. Dr. Otomaki nodded. They tried tying one to a nearby branch, but after a few minutes it slipped and fell. Maybe this tree isn't right, Xiao Yao said doubtfully. Dr. Otomaki looked around more closely and noticed that many of the trees were coated in mud. Ah, there was a landslide. The trees they like must have been knocked down. How pitiful, Xiaosheng said sadly. As a matter of fact, if you rub a Seedot's body with a leaf, it perks up, Dr. Otomaki said, smiling at the simple remedy. Wanting to help, Xiaosheng picked a big leaf and gently rubbed a Seedot's back. The little Pokemon brightened immediately and began to hop about happily. See? It worked, Xiaosheng grinned. As expected of Dr. Otomaki, Xiaogang praised. Dr. Otomaki shrugged modestly and then, with a playful gleam, began rolling on the ground beside the Seedot. Rolling, 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 he murmured, imitating their behavior. He rolled a bit faster, calling to the Seedot. Is it comfortable? Rolling, rolling. Everyone stared. Xiao Yao raised an eyebrow. Dr. Otomaki's field work, is this really how he studies Pokemon? He's connecting with them, Xiaogang said seriously. He's trying to understand how they feel. The Seedot tumbled and rolled, and Dr. Otomaki kept right on rolling with them like a good-natured child. Suddenly, Ash's expression turned guarded. Trouble, he said. His aura prickled. Noctowl, clear that fog. From deeper in the trees, a thick black fog had begun to spread. Noctowl flew up, its feathers bristling with psychic energy, and used extrasensory to blast the obscuring haze away. When the fog cleared, everyone stiffened in shock. The usually theatrical Team Rocket trio stood before them. Wah! Team Rocket's trademark laugh echoed, and Jessie, Musashi, smiled as usual. Prepare for trouble, she declared in her opening line, then immediately went on. We'll take all these Seedot. Seviper, go. James Kojiro sent his Seviper slithering forward. Noctowl, extrasensory, Ash ordered. Noctowl struck back, sending Seviper tumbling. Jessie flicked a wrist and cried, Silcoon! But James and Meowth murmured in confusion. Is that Cascoon? What are you talking about? That's Silcoon! Jessie snapped, indignant. Look carefully at the eyes. Dr. Otomaki jumped in, enthusiastic to teach. Silcoon's eyes are round. Cascoon's are different. Xiao Yao sent her real Silcoon out to demonstrate. Jessie's mouth curled with disdain. They look exactly the same. Dr. Otomaki continued, unfazed. The round, bright, cute eyes, that's Silcoon. It evolves into beautifully. He turned to Jessie and James as he lectured, but they barely seemed to be listening, as if she were merely reciting her usual lines. Silcoon, tackle! Jessie ordered with theatrical aggression. Xiao Yao countered immediately. Silcoon, tackle! Silcoon and Cascoon crashed into one another. Suddenly, Xiao Yao's Silcoon glowed with a blue-white light, evolution energy spilling off its cocooned body. Silcoon is evolving. Ash and the others cheered. Xiao Yao's face lit up. Yes, my Silcoon evolved into Beautifly. She scanned it with her Pokédex. Beautifully, it confirmed. Jessie's face went sour. Why? Why did the little girl's Silcoon evolve into Beautifly, but my Silcoon didn't, she screeched. Because yours is Cascoon, James muttered helplessly. Can't you see? Meowth added. If that one evolves, it'll become Dustox. Jessie's jaw tightened. I don't believe it, she shouted. I'll tear that Beautifully to pieces myself. Silcoon, string shot! Cascoon fired white threads at Beautifully, trying to immobilize it. Enough of your theatrics. Team Rocket, Ash barked. Pikachu, Iron Tail to cut the threads, then Thunderbolt to send them packing. Pikachu slammed an Iron Tail into Cascoon's webbing, snapping it apart, then unleashed a powerful Thunderbolt. The electricity struck Team Rocket, sending them hurtling deep into the forest. When they landed, Jessie sat up angrily and patted at her eyebrows. Why wouldn't my Silcoon evolve into Beautifully? I don't get it. I told you, it's Cascoon, James said. If it evolves, it becomes Dustox. Meowth told you already, Meowth reminded her. I don't believe it, Jessie snarled, still fuming. To be continued. Chapter 33, Beautifly and Dust Part 2. Great, the Seedots are all safe and sound, Xiaosheng cheered. Beautifully fluttered down and perched on Xiaoyao's head. Dr. Otomaki examined it and praised. This Beautifully's color and sheen are excellent. Thank you, Doctor. Beautifully, let's enter the Pokemon contest together. Xiaoyao beamed. Beautifully responded with an excited chirp. It had become Xiaoyao's primary battler and had reached the peak of the ordinary level. Oh, Xiaoyao, this is for you. Xiaogang produced a small box and handed it over. I made this special jelly for Beautifly. It might evolve any time, so I prepared it just in case. Xiaoyao gratefully took it. Thanks, Xiaogang. She opened the lid and called, Beautifly, come eat. The butterfly hopped down from her head and happily began to eat. If you're planning to enter the gorgeous contest, you should start practicing early, Dr. Otomaki suggested. Ash, what moves does Beautifly know? Xiaoyao asked. Ash checked with the system and listed them. It can learn Hurricane and Paralyze Powder. Hurricane? Okay. Beautifully, use Hurricane. Xiaoyao was excited to try the new move. Dr. Otomaki produced a pink frisbee, much to Ash's amusement, and handed it to Xiaoyao. Try to control this with Hurricane, he said. Xiaoyao threw the frisbee and Beautifully flapped its wings, creating a gust. The wind sent dust scattering, but the disc wobbled and fell. Too bad. Beautifully Encore Hurricane, Xiaoyao called. They tried the toss again and again. Each time Beautifully's control and endurance improved. Eventually, the practice went on until one of the Seedots piped up to remind them they still needed to find suitable trees to live in. They searched the forest tree by tree, but none suited the Seedots. Looks like they don't like the trees in this forest, Ash said, frustrated. Then let's check other forests, Dr. Otomaki suggested, and everyone agreed. At the next forest they tried, Xiaogang pointed and asked Dr. Otomaki what he thought. The doctor clipped a Seedot to a branch. The Seedot smiled and looked very content. Two others rolled happily on the ground. Perfect, Dr. Otomaki said. This place seems very suitable. Just then, Team Rocket burst onto the scene with their usual flourish. Prepare for trouble and make it double, they cried. Jessie pointed at Ash and declared, Satoshi, so that my Silcoon will evolve into Beautifly, I challenge you to a battle. Dr. Otomaki winced. Miss, that's a Cascoon. Jessie waved him off. Silcoon, she insisted and sent out her cocoon. Xiaoyao moved to send out Beautifly, but Ash cut in. Let me handle this. Ash seemed to think he could help Jessie's cocoon evolve into Beautifly, so he personally went into battle. I choose you, Croconaw. Croconaw hopped out and did an eager little dance. Go on, Silcoon. Cascoon. Harden, then tackle, Jessie ordered. Cascoon braced itself and charged. Croconaw, water gun, Ash commanded. Croconaw fired a jet of water at Cascoon. Cascoon took the hit, rushed in, and collided with Croconaw. It was knocked back, then charged with everything it had. As it struck Croconaw, a blue and white light burst forth. Cascoon was evolving. That's, someone started. It's evolving, everyone shouted. Jessie squealed with delight. My Silcoon is finally going to evolve into Beautifly, she crowed. Kojiro and Meowth exchanged glances. They knew the truth, but had hoped to avoid telling her. Finally, Kojiro blurted out, It's not Silcoon. Your Wurmple became a Cascoon, so it evolves into Dustox, not Beautifly. Cascoon finished its transformation into a Dustox, green wings and a purple body. Jessie froze, then blinked. This is my beautiful Beautifully? She asked uncertainly. That's Dustox. Xiao Sheng said matter-of-factly. Xiao Yao scanned it with her Pokédex and confirmed it. So it didn't become Beautifly. You caught a Wurmple like that little girl did, Dr. Otomaki explained. Both Wurmples evolved, but they took different paths. One became Silcoon and then Beautifly. Yours became Cascoon and became Dustox. Jessie listened, stunned, then slowly brightened. So this is my Dustox, she murmured as if considering it closely. James and Meowth clutched each other, waiting for Jessie's inevitable outburst. Then, oddly, she started cooing and praising it. It's so cute, Jessie gushed. Look, the scalloped edges on the tail, those enormous eyes that try to wink, these antennae like footballs, so magnificent. It's cuter than that little girl's Beautifly, 100 times cuter. She beamed. James and Meowth collapsed to the ground in disbelief. Whatever she likes, as long as she's happy, James sighed, relieved the crisis had passed. With that, Jessie signaled a counterattack. Enough messing around, Satoshi. Kojiro, go! Coincidentally, I don't want to play with you anymore either, Ash said. Pikachu, Thunderbolt, Croconaw, Hydro Pump. Pikachu! Pikachu unleashed a crackling bolt of electricity while Croconaw blasted a towering column of water. The combined attack sent Team Rocket blasting off once more. Nice work, my cute Dustox, Jessie shouted as she and her Dustox rose into the sky together. It's perfect, what a feeling. On Ash's side, Croconaw gained enough experience to reach the peak of the superior level. Ash sent Croconaw and Quilava back to rest, planning to use rare candies to push them up to the gym level. That night, Dr. Otomaki bid them farewell and returned to the Yamako Research Institute. To be continued. Chapter 34, Battle with Xiao Ren, leaving Wudo Island. After parting ways with Dr. Otomaki, Ash and his friends were wrapping up their training and exploration on Wudo Island. It was time to move on. The gorgeous contest in Slateport City was coming up, and both Ash and Xiao Yao planned to enter. Xiao Yao spent the morning practicing with her beautifully, using the common performance move Hurricane to make a pink ribbon disc spin through the air. After breakfast, they began breaking down their tents, packing their gear, and preparing to head back to Dewford Town to catch a boat to Slateport. Then an unexpected visitor arrived, a girl with a blue ponytail who surfed up and jumped ashore. She pointed straight at Ash. "You're Ash, right? That's me. Can I help you?" Ash answered with a smile. "Cut the small talk. Before she could finish, a wave crashed over her and soaked her through. She shook her hair back, then spoke again. "I'm Xiao Ren, Fujiki's #1 senior disciple." "#1 senior disciple? So young." Ash blinked. "I heard you beat Fujiki. Want to battle?" Xiao Ren blurted out without hesitation. At that moment, a loud gurgle came from Xiao Ren's stomach. Everyone's mouths twitched. "If you're hungry, we have food," Xiao Gang offered, producing the remaining sandwiches. "Really? Thank you." Xiao Ren dug in without ceremony, eating ravenously. Once she'd finished, she stood up and renewed her challenge to Ash. Pikachu suddenly pointed toward the sea and chirped insistently. Ash closed his eyes and reached out with his aura, sensing the air around them. "Xiao Ren, the battle can wait. Leave this place now," he said, his voice suddenly serious. "What's wrong, Ash?" everyone asked, alarmed. From a nearby hill, Fujiki leapt down and jogged over. "Good timing. You were just getting packed. The Pokémon Center told me where you were, so I ran to tell you." "Tell us what?" Xiao Yao asked. "A massive hurricane is coming. This little inlet will be swallowed by the waves. Get out of here," Fujiki warned. "Oh," they all gasped. Ash nodded grimly. "I thought the weather felt strange. A hurricane." "No wonder Pikachu kept staring at the clouds over the sea," Xiao Gang said. "Pikachu," Pikachu nodded in agreement. "That's how Pokémon sense danger earlier than we do," Ash said. Xiao Yao hugged Xiao Sheng. "A hurricane? What do we do?" "We need to head for shelter fast," Fujiki said. "It's too dangerous to stay out here." They hurried toward Dewford Town, but the hurricane moved in faster than anyone expected. The sky blackened, thunder rolled, and rain started pouring. Fujiki changed course and led them to a cave he knew of farther inland. On the way, they found Pokémon that hadn't had time to escape. Xiao Ren crouched down next to a Seedot and reached out gently. "It's okay. Come with us into the cave," she murmured, showing a softer side that surprised Xiao Yao. As they went, more and more Pokémon joined their group. The path hugged a cliff with a bottomless chasm below. "This is scary," Xiao Yao gasped. "Don't be afraid. It's the only way," Fujiki said. Ash stepped forward, took Xiaoyao's hand and offered, "Let's cross together." Startled when Ash suddenly took her hand, Xiaoyao turned beet red. Then Ash reached to hold both Xiaoyao's and Xiaoren's hands. Xiaoren, blushing, took Fujiki's hand, Xiaoyao held Xiaosheng's hand, and Xiaosheng held Xiaogang's. It made for a comical, chain-like crossing. They were harassed by falling rocks along the path, but Fujiki's Hariyama and Ash's Pikachu cleared the way. Even Team Rocket showed up, and in true fashion, tagged along. Eventually, everyone made it into the spacious cave, where wild Pokémon, Wingull, Zigzagoon, and others had already taken shelter. The cave was large enough that no one felt crowded, and Xiaogang started a fire to warm everyone. "This is the best shelter in the area," Fujiki explained. "The Pokémon know it better than we do. The hurricane should pass by dawn. We'll wait it out here." They agreed and settled down. Later, Fujiki brought up his earlier reason for not taking Xiaoren as a disciple. She focused too much on technique and not enough on unity with her Pokémon. The three bumbling Team Rocket members kept everyone entertained with their antics through the night. By morning, the storm had passed, the rain stopped, and the sun broke through. As expected, Team Rocket tried one of their schemes and were promptly sent flying by Pikachu's Thunderbolt. Fujiki stood and raised his voice. "The battle between Ash and Xiaoren will begin now. Each side sends out one Pokémon, no time limit. Begin." "Go Meditite," Xiaoren called. A small blue and white psychic fighting-type monkey popped out. "Let's show some teamwork, Pikachu," Ash replied. "Pikachu, Meditite, Focus Punch," Xiaoren ordered. Meditite immediately lashed out with the powerful charged move, the kind that's easy to interrupt. Ash's mouth twitched as he remembered Fujiki's earlier criticism. "Pikachu, move left," he shouted. "Pika!" Pikachu darted a few steps left, narrowly avoiding the Focus Punch. "High jump kick." Meditite tried another heavy attack, but Pikachu kept evading, dancing left and right just out of reach. Ash saw the opening and planned the finish. "Pikachu, quick attack into Iron Tail." At that moment, Xiaoren's expression changed. "Meditite, calm down. Move to the right." Meditite obeyed immediately and slipped out of the way. "It dodged it," Xiaosheng cried in surprise. Fujiki nodded approvingly. "Looks like Xiaoren finally understands." "Okay, Pikachu, Thunderbolt," Ash ordered. "Pika, chew." A bright bolt of electricity hit Meditite squarely. The little fighter wobbled and collapsed, unable to battle. "Meditite is unable to battle. Pikachu wins," Fujiki announced. "Nice work, Pikachu," Ash praised. Pikachu puffed up its chest proudly. Because of the match, Fujiki accepted Xiaoren as his #1 senior disciple. It seemed she had more goals beyond that, but those were for her to pursue. With the hurricane behind them, and Ash having already completed his gym match, there was no rush. They didn't miss the boat this time. Ash's group left productive Wudo Island and sailed into Slateport City's harbor. To be continued. Chapter 35, Xiaoshun. A rival appears. Arriving in a city famous for its beautiful scenery, the first stop was naturally the Pokémon Center. As expected, it was packed. Dozens of Pokémon coordinators had already gathered, and the place buzzed with excitement. "There's so much enthusiasm," Xiaosheng exclaimed. "That's because the Pokémon contest starts in just 2 weeks," Xiaoyao answered, eyes shining. This would be her debut in the gorgeous competition, and she could hardly hide her excitement. "Everyone's here for special training," Xiaogang added, "and they all look strong. Ash is even participating. Your chances don't look great." "Of course I can do it," Xiaoyao said aloud, but inside she felt nervous. Ash's performance last time had been spectacular. After registering for the gorgeous competition, Ash and the others headed for the beach to begin special training. At first, they tried the crowded resort beach, where Xiaogang immediately became distracted. Slateport City's coast lives up to its name. There are beautiful girls everywhere, he gushed. But the main beach was full of vacationers, so they followed a tip and found a quieter stretch, a seemingly deserted piece of sand and surf. Ash released 5 Pokémon in turn: Noctowl, Laren, Corphish, Ralts, and Mudkip. He had swapped Quilava and Croconaw back out earlier, replacing them with Lairon and Corphish after leaving Wudo Island. At Professor Oak's lab, Ash had also received good news. Snorlax, Bulbasaur, Kingler, and Tauros had recently broken through a training bottleneck and were making great progress. Oak had given most of the team a rest day. Pikachu had taken them to play on the beach, while Noctowl stayed on duty. Everyone looked to Xiaoyao. Go ahead and practice your preliminary performance, they urged. Okay, let's run through the entrance for the prelims. Xiaoyao ran a short distance, spun gracefully, and called, Beautifully, take the stage. Beautifully appeared, flapping its wings and scattering glittering powder that caught the sunlight. The entrance drew praise. But as Xiaoyao had spun a little too many times, she felt briefly dizzy. After a short rest, she continued the rehearsal. Beautifully, silver wind. Beautifly beat its wings quickly, but only produced a faint silver gust before stopping. Disappointed, Xiaoyao muttered, Why did it fail again? The success rate is so low. It's a difficult move to pull off in front of a crowd, said one of the others. But silver wind would be so eye-catching on the contest stage, Xiaoyao insisted. You'll just have to practice more, Ash encouraged. Beautifully, hurricane, Xiaoyao called next. She tossed 3 pink frisbees into the air as part of the routine. Beautifully created a gust that sent the frisbees back toward her. She caught 2 beautifully, but forgot she had only 2 hands. The third frisbee slipped by and flew off toward the pier. A boy leaned against the railing there, about the same age as Ash and Xiaoyao with green hair. With a casual flick, he plucked the frisbee from the air. Danger, Xiaoyao called, but the boy had already caught it. She hurried over to apologize. He toyed with the frisbee and sneered, You're planning to enter the contest with that level? That wasn't beautiful at all. Then he tossed the frisbee at her feet. Who are you to say that? Xiaoyao snapped. My name's Xiao Shun. I'm a Pokémon coordinator, he said, smirking. Don't underestimate Xiaoyao. She'll be your rival, Ash said, stepping forward. Rival? Her? Xiao Shun laughed. She and her Pokémon aren't beautiful at all. He looked at Xiaoyao with open disdain. Xiaoyao's temper flared. Don't you dare insult my Pokémon. You look even uglier when you get angry, Xiao Shun shot back, clearly enjoying himself. I saw your performance at the Kanaz tournament, Ash, Xiao Shun addressed Ash next. I look forward to meeting you in the gorgeous competition. Then, with a flick of his wrist, he pointed behind him. By the way, could you leave? This stretch of beach is private, part of the Grand Hotel where I'm staying. Everyone realized why the beach had been empty. Fine, let's go, Ash said, and they packed up. Xiao Sheng and Xiao Gang followed, while Xiaoyao gave Xiao Shun a last, furious glare. Where to practice now? Beaches were either crowded or private, and neither option worked. Rent a private apartment with its own beach, Ash suggested. We'll have a place to train. That's expensive, Xiao Gang worried. Don't worry, I've got a way. At the apartment rental office, Ash produced a top-grade moonstone he'd acquired through the system. The staff, impressed with such a rare item, accepted it in exchange for the apartment. Their new place had its own private stretch of sand. You really spent a top-grade moonstone for this? Xiaoyao asked, embarrassed that Ash had gone to such trouble for her. No problem. Let's prepare for 2 weeks of intensive training. Ash opened a Pokeball. Come out, Beautifly. A Beautifly appeared, shiny, with pale purple wings and a golden body. Everyone stared. A shiny Beautifly? They cried. It was caught at the same time as yours, Ash explained. It was supposed to be a secret weapon, but let my Beautifly help your Beautifly learn Silver Wind. Xiaoyao was deeply moved. Ash had brought out his secret weapon to help her. I won't let that arrogant kid get the better of you, she vowed. The 2 weeks flew by. Xiaoyao's Beautifly mastered Silver Wind just in time. The gorgeous competition would begin in 2 days. Ash stayed busy too, swapping Pokémon in battles against trainers across Slateport City and reaping rewards. He'd also asked Professor Oak for permission to expand his roster of Pokémon. Oak said it involved paperwork, but because Ash had done so much for Kanto before, Oak agreed to lift the restriction and allow the extra slot. Ash was grateful. Without Oak's help, he might never have been noticed by the League. The team's training paid off. Pikachu broke through a long bottleneck and reached the Quasi-Heavenly King initial stage. Beautifully advanced to Superior initial stage. Eevee, Phanpy, Corphish, and Tylo progressed to Superior late stage. Heracross and Lairon reached Gym Leader mid-stage. Croconaw and Quilava took rare candies and advanced to Gym Leader early stage. Ralts and Mudkip grew up too, moving into normal mid-stage. Ralts learned Teleport and Mudkip learned Rock Smash. In training battles, Trico used a move it had been perfecting, Seed Machine Gun. spitting countless seeds and defeating a wild Mightyena. The battle triggered an evolution. A blue and white cascade of light enveloped Trico, reshaping and growing its form. When the light settled, a taller, sleeker Pokémon stood where Trico had been. Grovel. Excellent! Grovile! Someone shouted as it flexed, the leaves on its arms bristling. Grovel's training continued. Its strength had reached superior late stage, and its moveset already included Leaf Blade, X-Scissor, and Energy Ball. To be continued. Ash's team: Pikachu, Noctowl, Grovile, Corphish, Laren, Ralts, Mudkip. Chapter 36, Regrets from the Past. Choosing a starter Pokémon. Afterward, Xiaozhi's group went to the Pokémon Center to have their Pokémon checked. Xiaoyao had made great progress recently. Under Ash's guidance, his Torchic had reached the peak of the normal rank, and his Beautifully had advanced into the early superior stage. After lunch, Xiaoyao went off to train Beautifully, leaving only Torchic with Ash and the others. Just then, Nurse Joy passed by and stopped when she saw the two Mudkip, Torchic, and Grovel gathered near Ash. Her eyes lit up as she asked, "Excuse me, are the Mudkip, Torchic, and Trico yours?" "Yes, Nurse Joy," Xiaosheng replied quickly. "Oh my, you've raised them so well," Nurse Joy praised sincerely. Xiao Gang, love-struck, swaggered forward. "That Mudkip is mine. I even prepare their food myself. I'm honored to be praised by Nurse Joy." Xiaosheng jumped up, gave Xiao Gang a pinch on the ear, and dragged him away. Nurse Joy smiled. "Actually, a new trainer is coming today to choose a starter. I'm getting Torchic, Trico, and Mudkip ready for a health check. It would be wonderful if they could grow up as healthy as these." Not every trainer gets their Pokémon from a professor. Many never even have a Pokédex. Some rely on pictures like Kojiro to identify species, a slow method. Some rely on memory. Some just rush in and pick whatever they see. In Slateport City, however, Nurse Joy handled the distribution of starter Pokémon. Ash felt a pang of regret. His previous self had overslept and never personally chosen a starter. He'd ended up with Pikachu and they'd become inseparable. After the transmigration, he still hadn't officially chosen a starter, and it nagged at him. It's a once-in-a-lifetime choice. The checkup finished, and Nurse Joy announced with a smile, "All three are healthy. Let's let them out of their Pokeballs for some exercise." She turned to the eager Xiaosheng. "Xiaosheng, you can do it." "Thank you, Nurse Joy." Xiaosheng took the Pokeballs and opened them one by one, reading the fire, grass, and water symbols. "Come out, Torchic, Trico, Mudkip." The three Pokémon emerged with different dispositions. Torchic was brimming with fighting spirit, Trico shy and reserved, and the new Mudkip a total crybaby, so dramatic it could have been a sobble. At that moment, Xiaoyao, returning from training, called out, "Nurse Joy, this is bad. I found a Wailord washed up on the shore. It looks very weak." As the Nurse Joy of a coastal town, she had the means to handle it. "Ash, could you watch the Pokémon while I deal with this? I'm counting on you," she asked. Being Nurse Joy's biggest fan, Xiao Gang immediately insisted on going along. He left with Nurse Joy and Xiaoyao, leaving Ash and Xiaosheng alone with the three starter Pokémon. Under the care of experienced Pokémon and a mentor like Pikachu, the three starters should have been fine. Trico and Mudkip were getting along well, and Ash's Mudkip especially enjoyed playing with the new one. But trouble still happened with Torchic. The new Torchic, the more it fought, the bolder it became. It surged past the normal mid-rank and tried to force an evolution. "No!" Ash rushed over, but he was too late to stop the first signs. Torchic had already begun the breakthrough. Forceful evolution wasn't allowed. It would consume a lot of potential, and recovery would take a long time. Look at what happened with Charizard. Ash interrupted the process and scooped Torchic up. "Little guy, you're stubborn," he scolded. Pikachu watched closely, surprised it had caused such a commotion in a single moment. Xiaoyao's Torchic looked on, speechless. This junior was audacious to try forcing evolution just to win. The new Torchic immediately started to act pitiful, eyes welling with fake tears. It was brave and clever. When it played the sympathy card, it was hard to resist. Without showing any softness, Ash tapped the top of its head. If it had been Pikachu, a pout might have worked, but Ash wasn't letting it slide. The stern discipline did the trick. Torchic calmed down and began rubbing against Ash's leg like an obedient puppy. Soon, Nurse Joy returned. Wailord had been treated and led back to the sea, accompanied by Xiao Gang and Xiao Yao. Right then, the new trainer arrived as well. Ash quietly explained earlier about Torchic's level spike, but the little girl had already started making her choice. Nurse Joy kindly described their temperaments. Torchic is a bit lively, Trico is a little shy, and Mudkip is very affectionate. The girl didn't pick up the subtext. Which should I choose? She wondered aloud, accompanied by her father, who smiled and told her to take her time. After a moment, she decided, I choose Mudkip. Just when it seemed settled, Trico left out and, suddenly appearing pitiful, tugged at everyone's hearts. As they reached to comfort it, the girl's father surprised them all. I'll take Trico, he said. I've decided I want to be a trainer too. Everyone gasped. There's no age limit to become a Pokémon trainer, right? The father asked. Of course not, Nurse Joy replied. He'd always had the right to be a trainer. He was just a few decades late. Fate, it seemed, had decided both father and daughter would start their journeys together. That left only the feisty Torchic, very attached to Ash. Ash looked at Nurse Joy. Would it be all right if Torchic traveled with me? Nurse Joy smiled. Yes, this Torchic is quite spirited and is already above the standard for a beginner Pokémon. I have the final say here. Consider it a gift for all your help. She also respected the Pokémon's bond. Thank you, Nurse Joy, Ash said, thankful. He crouched down and spoke to Torchic. Torchic, do you want to travel with me and become stronger together? Torchic looked up into his eyes and nodded firmly. Okay, I choose you, Torchic. Great, Ash, everyone cheered. Pikachu gave an enthusiastic greeting, welcoming the little brother. With that, Ash finally had his first starter since the transmigration, easing the regret in his heart. Torchic, gender, male. Type fire, ability, speed boost. Speed increases by 1 stage each turn. Strength, normal. Mid-rank moves, peck, spark, growl, quick attack, double team, Dynamax, type fire. To be continued. Chapter 37. Slateport City Contest. Ash had successfully collected the Hoenn starters. He'd sent Groville away for a while so it could get used to its new body. 2 days later, the Slateport City Pokémon contest finally opened, but Musashi missed registration and wouldn't be competing. At the venue, the show began with a lively announcer. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for waiting. The Hoenn region's very own Pokémon contest, the Slateport City contest, is about to begin. A woman with curly hair introduced the event as the crowd applauded. She introduced the judges, Mr. Contesta, Mr. Tsukizo, and Nurse Joy, then explained the rules. I'm Vivian, and I'll be your host for this contest. Please give us your support. The cheering swelled. Back in the rest area, Xiao Yao sat on a bench, hands shaking. She was about to go on stage and was clearly nervous. Xiao Yao. Xiao Yao. Ash called, but she didn't respond until he stepped forward and patted her shoulder. Huh? What is it, Ash? She asked, finally snapping out of it. Calm down, Ash said. You still have Beautifly with you. You're not alone. Believe in yourself. Beautifully had landed on her head and fluttered gently. If the trainer is nervous, the Pokémon will be too. You've practiced for this. Stay calm and it will go well. Don't waste all your hard work. Ash's encouragement steadied her. Xiao Yao met his eyes, took a deep breath, and nodded. Okay, I can do this. The first round, Vivian announced, would be judged on appeal performance, coordinators and their Pokémon showcasing practiced moves and showmanship. The contestants began to perform in order. Contestant 24, Xiao Shun, came out with a Roselia. It began with Petal Dance, scattering a shower of pink petals that filled the stage like a sea of flowers. Then it mixed Paralyzed Powder and Magical Leaf, so the leaves seemed to glitter, captivating the audience. For the finale, it obscured itself in a swirl of petals before breaking through with glowing Magical Leaf, Roselia's figure reappearing to praise. The judges rewarded the polished routine, 29.4 points, the highest so far. Back in the rest area, Xiao Shun and Xiao Yao exchanged barbed comments. Xiao Shun's sarcasm actually snapped Xiao Yao out of her nervousness. Next is contestant number 34, Ash, came the call. The crowd cheered. Go, Ash! Pikachu! Ash sent out Noctowl, which alighted on his arm. Its golden plumage drew immediate admiration. Noctowl, Feather Dance, then Confusion, Ash commanded. Feathers swirled as Noctowl spun. The confusion moved, distorting the breeze and expanding into giant, shimmering wings. The audience gasped. Noctowl, finish it! Feather Twister, Air Slash! Feathers spun into a cyclone, and blue wind waves burst outward, scattering the feathers so they drifted down and left Noctowl standing dramatically in the center. The judges praised the performance and scored it 29.8 points. Next, contestant number 38, Robert. A handsome blonde man stepped on stage with a melodic. Wrapped in safeguard, melodic glowed with a soft green halo, its natural grace mesmerizing the crowd. Elegant and flawless, it scored 29.8 as well, tied with Ash for first place. Now, please welcome our final contestant of this round, Xiaoyao. Ash walked over to her. Go on. Believe in yourself. His words steadied her. She stood up and made her way to the stage, trying to look composed despite her stage fright. Vivian smiled at her and announced, "This is Xiaoyao's first Pokémon contest appearance. Let's welcome her and her Pokémon for their debut. Princess, you can do it." Some voices called. Pikachu and Chamo cheered for her from the sidelines. Xiaoyao took a breath, pulled a pink frisbee from her bag, and threw the Pokeball. Beautifully, come out! Beautifully fluttered on stage, its wings shimmering and thousands of tiny scales scattering light. The sight alone drew appreciative murmurs. Use string shot! Xiaoyao shouted. Beautifully fanned its wings and spat a fine white silk, which caught the frisbee and sent it back. They began a coordinated routine of tossing the frisbee back and forth, the Pokemon Silk acting like a vine as they passed the disc in time with music. Xiaoyao loosened up as the routine progressed. Final move, Hurricane, she called. Beautifully beat its wings fiercely, whipping up a whirlwind that kept the frisbee spinning in midair before it rebounded. Xiaoyao sprinted, leapt, and caught the frisbee perfectly. Finish with Silver Wind, she cried. Beautifly exhaled a spinning silver wind, spinning itself in a graceful dance that swept across the stage. The middle of the performance was simple compared to the others, but it was clean and confident, no mistakes. The judges awarded her 27.9 points, comfortably enough to pass the first round. Ash greeted her enthusiastically as she came off stage. Great performance. You'll definitely make it through the second round. Really? That's great. Xiaoyao beamed. Xiao Shun strode over and placed a red rose at Beautifly's feet. Your Pokémon was impressive. I underestimated you, he said, though he added a pointed remark to Xiaoyao herself. Is this for me? Thank you, she replied, taking the rose. It's for Beautifly. As for you, the coordinator, you still have a lot to learn, Xiao Shun sneered. Hey, Xiaoyao snapped, but the argument died down as the list for the second round was posted. As expected, Ash, Xiaoyao, Xiao Shun, and Robert had all advanced. Yay, we made it, Xiaoyao cheered. To be continued. Chapter 38, Slateport City Ribbon Badge obtained. The 8 coordinators who advanced were randomly paired for the contest. Unfortunately, Xiaoyao and Xiao Shun were matched against each other in the first round, while Ash faced a random passerby. Although Xiaoyao had improved a lot compared to before, she was still inexperienced compared to Xiao Shun. Heady with confidence, Xiao Shun dismissed her blazing determination and told Ash, "See you in the finals." Xiaoyao, furious, shot back, "Don't get cocky. I'll be the one to face Ash." Ash watched the exchange with a wry look. Looking at the bracket, he didn't think either girl was very likely to win it all. From their side, Robert was the favorite to reach the finals. The first 5-minute matchup was Xiaoyao versus Xiao Shun. Xiaoyao sent out Beautifully while Xiao Shun used Roselia. Although Beautifully managed to counter Roselia at times, Roselia was at a much higher level, what they called the superior late stage, and Xiao Shun wasn't a novice like Xiaoyao. The odds were stacked against her. At the start of the match, Xiaoyao was caught off guard by Xiao Shun's magical leaf. Unfamiliar with the timing, she lost points immediately. Paralyzed Powder kept chipping away at her score. Panic set in and Xiaoyao unleashed her finisher, Silver Wind, but it was scattered by Petal Dance. Finally, a dazzling, multicolored solar beam struck and KO'd Beautifully, draining Xiaoyao's score to 0. Xiao Shun won. Dejected, Xiaoyao returned to the lounge with her head bowed and tears in her eyes. Xiao Gang and Xiao Sheng hurried to her side. Although the siblings argued often, they still cared deeply for each other. I can't accept this. Beautifully tried so hard. Xiaoyao cried. Ash stepped forward and ruffled her hair. It's okay to be upset. Life isn't always smooth. You won't win every time. Rivals exist to push you to improve. Turn that frustration into effort and come back stronger. Xiaoyao wiped her tears, looked up at Ash, and nodded determinedly. I understand. I'll beat him next time. Matches were short, only 5 minutes each, so the tournament moved quickly to the finals. As expected, Xiaozhi was ambushed by Robert and knocked out, leaving Ash to face Robert for the title. "I choose you, Noctowl," Ash called. "Go, Melodic," Robert replied. Robert sent out a shimmering Melodic with the Marvel scale ability. Ash's Noctowl, a striking shiny, glided gracefully into the ring. "Melodic Twister," Robert commanded with calm composure. Melodic fanned its beautiful tail and summoned a twister aimed at Noctowl. "Noctowl Moonblast," Ash cried. A pink moonblast burst forth, slicing through the dragon-type twister and turning the attack's energy back on Melodic. Robert's score dropped significantly. Noctowl then fixed its blue eyes on Melodic. "Noctowl Hypnosis!" "Oh no, don't look, Melodic," Robert shouted, worry coloring his voice. Melodic fell into a deep gaze, and then Noctowl used Dream Eater. Melodic collapsed, its score plunging. "Melodic, Aqua Ring," Robert ordered desperately. A ring of water enveloped Melodic, slowly restoring it, but Ash wouldn't give them an opening. "Noctowl Hurricane." Noctowl beat its wings and summoned a powerful hurricane that swirled around Melodic. With a resounding impact, Melodic lost the ability to continue. All 3 judges marked an X, and Robert's score fell to 0. "The champion of the Slateport City contest is Ash," Vivian announced, and the crowd erupted in applause. Robert recalled Melodic, stepped forward, and shook Ash's hand. "Congratulations, you were impressive." "Thank you," Ash said as he accepted Robert's handshake. Xiao Yao and her companions cheered wildly from the stands, while Pikachu chimed in with a cheerful "Pika Pie." "Now the champion Ash and his Noctowl will receive the ribbon badge," Vivian declared. Contestant Ken presented Ash with the Slateport City ribbon badge. "Thank you," Ash said as he accepted it. Ding. Obtain the Slateport City ribbon badge. Reward, 1,000 points. The Pokémon contest, Slateport City Tournament concludes here. We'll see you next time. With Vivian's announcement, the contest officially ended. Afterward, Xiao Yao and the others gathered around Ash. "Ash, you're amazing. You've entered twice and already earned a ribbon badge," Xiao Yao said, clearly envious. "As long as you keep at it, you can do it too," Ash encouraged. "Keep working hard." Xiao Yao's fighting spirit flared. "Yes, I'll train hard. First I'll beat that Xiaozhi, then I'll become a top coordinator, great at both battling and performing." After the contest, Xiaozhi's group decided to stay another day in Slateport City. They had trained hard and hadn't had much chance to explore the city. Ash sent Noctowl back to its Pokeball and brought Fanpy out. Their next challenge was at Zijing Gym, an electric-type gym with 3-on-3 battles, so Ash planned to use Fanpy, Lyran, and Pikachu. Ash's team, Pikachu, Fanpy, Corphish, Lyron, Mudkip, Ralts, Torchic. Ash wandered the streets with Xiaozhi. "Ralts," he called, letting the little Pokemon out of its Pokeball. Pikachu watched the child with an expression of helpless affection. Xiao Gang and Xiao Yao split off. One went shopping while the other went in search of delicious food. Ash intended to take Xiaozhi to the Sea Museum, the must-see spot in Slateport City. But when they arrived at the entrance, a sign on the door read, "Closed." How could it be? Why is it closed? Xiaozhi asked, disappointed. "No choice. The tourist guide didn't say anything about a holiday. Maybe something happened," Ash said, trying to comfort him. But Xiaozhi was stubborn. This was their last full day here, and if he didn't see the museum now, he didn't know when he would again. If Ash hadn't stopped him, Xiaozhi would have tried to climb the wall. Just then a boy in a straw hat ran up and demanded, "Hey, what are you doing here?" Xiaozhi froze. This looked bad. He was sure they'd be misunderstood. The straw hat boy pointed right at them. "I know what you're here to do. You came to steal the exhibits from the Sea Museum, didn't you?" No, we just wanted to visit." Xiaozhi stammered, more flustered the more he tried to explain. Pikachu chirped nervously. The straw hat boy wasn't convinced. To be continued. Chapter 39, The Oceanic Museum, Battling Team Magma Again. "Humph, I don't believe you. Go, Spheal." The boy puffed up with a self-important look and sent out his Spheal. "Spheal, aim at those 2 thieves and use Water Gun." Spheal clapped its flippers together obediently. Ash and Xiaozhi exchanged baffled looks. The boy grew flustered. "Spheal, not like that. Water Gun." This time, Spheal seemed to understand and squirted a jet of water straight at the boy, soaking his face. Then it started clapping again. The boy angrily shook his wet hair. "Forget it. Next, body slam. Sfeel leapt forward and barreled toward Ash and Xiaosheng. They sidestepped, and Sfeel slammed into the wall behind them, bounced back into the boy's arms, and immediately began acting spoiled. The boy looked on the verge of tears. "I think your teamwork's terrible," Xiaosheng muttered. "That kid probably hasn't been a trainer very long," Ash said, shrugging. Pikachu gave a sympathetic chirp. "Sfeel, Blizzard," the boy declared, still playing the hero. "Ralts, teleport, and then use confusion." Ralts obeyed. A blast of icy wind blasted out of Sfeel. Ash and Xiaosheng used teleport to get behind it and then hit the boy and Sfeel with confusion. "Ah! How could this happen? Help! You bad guys!" the boy wailed. "Stop!" A suited middle-aged man strode out of the museum. Ash had already made sure things wouldn't get worse. "Curator Cussler," the boy exclaimed. "These people are thieves. Please send Officer Jenny." Ash and Xiaosheng hurriedly explained what had really happened. Once the misunderstanding cleared, the boy relaxed. "Oh, so that's it. You should have said so earlier. My name's Yusuke," he said quickly. "You attacked us first," Xiaosheng shot back. Sorry. Yusuke, embarrassed, apologized at once. "I'm Cussler, curator of the Oceanic Museum," the man said by way of introduction. "Hello, I study marine Pokémon and display my research here." Ash introduced himself in turn. "I'm Ash from Pallet Town. This is Pikachu and Ralts." "Pika, Ralts," they replied. "Hello, I'm Xiaosheng." Yusuke chimed in, and Cussler smiled. "The museum is closed right now, but since you're here, come inside and take a look." Xiaosheng practically bounced with excitement. Cussler led them through the exhibits, explaining that the models, even a life-sized Wylard, helped visitors understand Pokémon ecology. Yusuke proudly announced he liked Goldeen and one day planned to catch it and evolve it into Gyarados, which earned Ash and Xiaosheng blank stares. "That's not right," Xiaosheng said. "Goldeen doesn't evolve into Gyarados. Magikarp does." Yusuke waved it off. "You'll pick up the details at sea," he said casually. Ash smiled to himself. Everyone had to learn somehow. Cussler pointed out a model submarine being built in the museum's shipyard. Then he led them to his office, where he picked up a small box from a desk. "I closed the museum for this," he said, opening it. Inside was a blackened stone. "This looks like it was burned," Ash observed. "You're right," Cussler said. "It must have been heated to an extremely high temperature down deep underwater. That's why I wanted to study it properly before reopening." "Could something like that really happen?" Xiaosheng asked. "Of course," Cussler replied. "It could be natural, or it could be the result of a powerful Pokémon." Ash's mind leapt to Groudon and to Team Magma. A cry floated in from outside. "Icy cold shaved ice, Slateport's specialty." Both boys perked up at the mention of shaved ice. "That's perfect. Take a break and go get some," Cussler suggested. "I'll stay and examine this stone." Outside, the shaved ice vendor hollered for customers. Ash caught a faint, familiar presence with his aura sensing. The Team Rocket trio was nearby. He didn't want trouble while thinking about Team Magma, so he stepped forward and whispered, "Team Rocket, 2 choices. 1, I blast you. 2, don't cause trouble and we'll pay." Pikachu's cheeks sparked warningly. Recognizing they'd been spotted, the trio kept quiet and obediently served shaved ice. While Ash and the others were finishing, alarms rang through the museum. As Ash had feared, Team Magma had attacked, led, he recognized, by Huokun, the leader of the group he'd faced before. Curator Cussler tried to stop them, but Team Magma used a pack of Mightyena to fill the room with smoke and snatch the stone. As they fled toward the museum entrance, Ash, Xiaosheng, and Yusuke stepped out just in time to intercept them. "Team Magma," Ash shouted. "That stone stays here. Don't even think about running." Huokun sneered. "Humph. Mightyena, tackle!" His Mightyena lunged. "Pikachu, Iron Tail!" Ash countered. Pikachu's tail hardened like steel and sent the charging Mightyena flipping. Huokun barked orders as 2 more Mightyena rushed in. Ash called out Lairon and Corphish. Lairon slammed with Stone Edge, while Corphish peppered the enemies with Bubble Beam. "All of you, finish them," Ash called. He activated the Z-Ring and slotted in the electric Z-Crystal. "Pikachu, let's end this together. Gigavolt Havoc?" Pikachu's small fists glowed with immense electricity. The Z-move struck, blasting all 3 Mightyena away and knocking Huokun off balance. The stone tumbled from his grasp. Huokun hastily recalled his Pokémon and fled, shouting a threat over his shoulder. "Kid, I'll remember you." You won't get away with this. Watching a helicopter approaching in the distance, Ash didn't pursue. He picked up the stone and handed it to Curator Cussler when the curator rushed out. "Thank you so much, Ash," Cussler said, visibly relieved. The curator led them back inside for another look at the exhibits. As they were about to leave, Cussler paused and reached into a drawer. "Since you helped protect the museum, you should know how to use this," he said, pressing a small item into Ash's hand. "It's one of my older pieces. It's yours." Ash opened his palm to find a megastone. "A megastone?" Xiaozhi gasped. Cussler nodded. "This is for Swampert. Team Magma wanted the black stone because something about it was dangerous. If it hadn't been for you, they would have stolen everything. Please accept this. I hope it helps you become an even stronger trainer." Ash hesitated. "It's really valuable." Cussler waved him off. "Take it. You saved us. That's what matters." Ash accepted the Swampert megastone. He and Xiaozhi bid Cussler farewell and set off to find Xiao Gang and Xiao Yao. To be continued. Chapter 40. The Kidnapping in the Forest. The Pink Devil joins the team. Leaving Slateport City, Xiaozhi's group set their sights on Mobile City and entered a large forest to enjoy the cool green air. After walking through the morning, they decided to find a place to rest. Xiaozhi checked his navigator and found a Pokémon Center nearby. Everyone quickened their pace and headed for it. As they neared the center, they saw a towering ancient tree on the hillside below. From a distance, its massive canopy looked like a giant sun umbrella. "I never thought there'd be such an old giant tree here," Ash said. "There must be a lot of powerful grass-type Pokémon living in it." It reminded him of the great tree in the Trico Forest where he had met Trico long ago. They agreed to rest at the Pokémon Center first, then explore the tree later. As soon as they arrived, "Ah, beautiful Nurse Joy, I'm here." Xiao Gang dashed inside. Xiaozhi followed, calling after him, but suddenly Xiao Gang froze. "Huh, Nurse Joy isn't here," Xiaozhi said. Nurse Joy worked every day of the year. It was unheard of for a Pokémon Center to be empty. Pikachu suddenly twitched and sprinted toward the second floor, nose in the air. "Follow Pikachu. He's found something," Ash called. They ran up the stairs. Xiao Gang, still muttering about Nurse Joy, was the first to step into the room Pikachu had pointed to, and then collapsed. "Xiao Gang, wake up!" Ash shouted. A blue cloud of sleep powder filled the room. Ash held his breath, dragged Xiao Gang outside, and roused him on the first floor. "What happened to me?" Xiao Gang mumbled, groggy. "It's sleep powder," Ash said, frowning. They had beautifully used Hurricane to clear the rest of the powder before going back inside. Looking through the center's computer, Xiao Yao found a report, a survey of local Pokémon signed Joy, but the draft was unfinished. Xiaozhi pointed to a corner of the wall. "There's a surveillance camera." They checked the surveillance room and found the culprit, a Shiftry with long white hair. The footage showed Shiftry use sleep powder to knock out Nurse Joy, then carry her off. Xiao Gang sputtered in outrage. He hadn't even made a move, and a Shiftry had already swooped in, but he immediately vowed to rescue Nurse Joy and win her heart in the process. "If it's a Shiftry, it's probably up in that giant tree," Ash guessed. "Come on, Nurse Joy, don't be scared. I'm coming." Xiao Gang bolted out, and the rest chased after him. They teleported to the base of the giant tree. Ralts, teleport. Ralts had pushed itself to the limit and collapsed afterward. "Thanks, Ralts. Get some rest," Ash said, recalling it. No sooner had they arrived than a swarm of grass-type Pokémon began spraying sleep powder at them from the tree canopy. The group countered with Beautifly's Hurricane and Corfish's Bubble Beam to clear the air. Beneath the canopy, Nurse Joy came to and looked up to see Shiftry standing over her, a fierce expression on its face. "Are you here for me?" Nurse Joy asked gently, not frightened. Oddish and Seedot ringed her protectively. Ash's team reached them, and after calming and talking with the grass types, learned what had happened. One of their companions was injured and needed treatment. "Thank you for coming to help," Nurse Joy said with a smile. "We should help," Ash said. Xiao Gang tried to rush forward to impress her, but was held back by Xiaozhi. Shiftry led them deeper into the roots, and on a ledge they found an injured Nuzleaf curled in the center of a hollow. Nurse Joy knelt to examine Nuzleaf and frowned. "It's very weak. At this rate, it won't survive. I need a first aid kit." The path back down was long, and time was short. To show off his bravery, Xiao Gang hopped onto Shiftry's back and rode it like an express train. It was a wild, roller coaster ride, but he made it back, retrieved a first aid kit, and returned to help Nurse Joy stabilize Nuzleaf. When Nuzleaf woke up, the grass type's agitation eased. The group said their goodbyes to Shiftry and returned to the Pokémon Center to rest that night. The next morning, they resumed the journey to Mobile City. They crossed rugged mountain roads shrouded in fog and met siblings Nana and Kazuchi, who helped guard a lighthouse, and their cheering Pokémon, Plusle and Meenan. The villagers mistook Ash for a hero. Later, he foiled a Team Rocket scheme and recovered an heirloom, the Shiny Stone. A little while later, they arrived in a town where they met Akina and her Whismur. Akina invited them to enter the upcoming Trick House competition, where overcoming the Trick Master's mechanisms could win the victor a year's supply of Pokeblocks. Determined to win, Ash's group threw themselves into the challenge. Mazes, a log bridge, pitfall traps, even an encounter with a Jigglypuff wielding a microphone. They pushed through the obstacles, but narrowly missed first place. As they were about to bid Akina farewell, Jigglypuff chimed, "Purin," and the pink menace showed up again. Before it could start singing, Ash called out, "Wait, Jigglypuff, you love performing, right? How about joining the gorgeous competition with me?" Ash had a plan. He'd noticed before that his aura could resist hypnosis, but it drained a great deal of his energy. If he could recruit a Jigglypuff whose singing was already perfected, it would be a powerful addition, and maybe he could catch it. Everyone stared in shock at the idea of a Jigglypuff on stage. The Jigglypuff clicked its microphone and nodded. If they listened to its song, it would go with them. Before anyone could stop it, Jigglypuff began to sing. The melody flooded the area. Ash fought the lull with his aura. It cost him a lot, but he held on. The others weren't so lucky. Most of the people and Pokémon around them fell asleep. Even Whismur, despite having the soundproof ability, collapsed from exhaustion and dozed off. When the song ended, Jigglypuff hopped onto Ash and hugged him happily. It allowed itself to be caught. Jigglypuff, gender, female, type, normal fairy, ability, cute charm, 30% chance to infatuate when hit by a contact move from an opposite gender Pokémon, strength, mid-gym level, moves sing, perish song, disarming voice, draining kiss. Dynamax type fairy, alright, caught Jigglypuff. Ash cheered. Worried that other Pokémon might keep falling asleep, he teleported Mudkip back to Professor Oak's laboratory for safekeeping. Then he woke Xiao Yao and the others, said goodbye to Akina, and the group continued on toward Mobile City. To be continued.